Jabari Smith.
Sacramento and teams.
Of course, is my son Jabari. Favorite player. Did y'all know that nigga is Kwame Brown's cousin? Yes, Jabari Smith. His father is Kwame Brown's cousin. So that means Jabari Smith is Kwame Brown's cousin. Jabari, I love your game. Hopefully you don't end up like your cousin. Hopefully you work on your game and don't be a scared little rabbit. Hopefully you don't be cooning. Hopefully Jabari don't be cooning.
Jay Billis, for those who maybe aren't as familiar with Keegan Murray's game, what do you like about him?
Everything. They should be familiar because Keegan.
Did y'all know Jabari Smith was Kwame Brown's cousin?
He went from a year ago averaging about 7-8 points a game.
Did y'all know that? I ain't know that shit.
Player in this draft and the most NBA ready to plug in right now.
Absolutely. Well, Sacramento, their pick is in. Let's hear from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who the Sacramento Kings.
Let's go Sacramento. Who Sacramento go pick? Yeah, I just learned that looking it up because I was like, his father tall. He must have played.
NBA draft. The Sacramento Kings select Keegan Murray from the University of Iowa.
Keegan Murray.
Keegan Murray becomes the highest drafted Iowa player in the common draft era. Sharing it all with his family as he walks to the stage. Keegan Murray, he actually grew up in Iowa, in Cedar Rapids. That's in East Iowa. It's a town with a population of just over 130,000.
His father was Kenyon Murray. Okay.
Balling at Iowa, it runs in the family. His father, Kenyon, also played at Iowa and is third all-time in steals, but that's not where the family stops. His teammates
Yeah, Detroit supposed to get him.
And his younger
Jaden Ivey.
His mom was a collegiate golf player, and then last year he made a case, as Jay mentioned, to be the best player in college basketball. He increased his scoring from 7 points per game his freshman year to more than 23 his sophomore year. You can see him there shaking hands with Adam Silver. Jay,
Keegan Murray got a white mom.
His efficiency. He led the NCAA in player efficiency rating at about 38, which is a gigantic number. He's NBA ready right now. His basketball IQ is tremendous. Very smart. He's got a great feel. He makes really good reads.
I should have known that because his name is Keegan.
Instagram sensation, because he's not like the spectacular dunker and all that stuff, even though he dunks a lot. But he does the smart play every play, and he does it over and over again. At the end of the game, he's got spectacular numbers. He can handle it. He can change speeds. He drives it either way to the point of seeming ambidextrous, and he shoots 40% from three. So he's a good shooter. He's excellent out of the post. He's in the 99th percentile out of the post.
Texas T, his father was an NBA player. She better look good.
You know, able to take advantage of little guys when he has the mismatch, has the size and length, knows how to play his role at times, plays off the ball well.
I just see Robert Swift when I look at Chet Holmgren. I could be wrong, but I just smell Robert Swift. Kwame Brown. I said that in the beginning. As soon as this came on, I said that as soon as this came on. I just learned that. Yes, Kwame Brown. You see some Josh McRoberts. I see a lot of Nick Collison. I see a lot of Nick Collison. I said it, Jabari. I love your game, and I love your name. I hope you ain't a coon like your cousin and a bum like him too.
They're committed to him, and that De'Aaron Fox is their franchise player. Why not add a wing? The wing is the most important position.
That man say, see, honestly. You think Chet gonna be a baller? I think he gonna play like a guy named Chet.
No more with the Lakers had those cook wings.
Yeah.
Those young wings that sit in the sink that's
I just don't see it. Maybe, you know, I just think he gonna be a big, tall, white guy.
I don't want the wings that's been out on the stove all night.
Okay, I understand. All right, let's go to Detroit because they are currently on the clock.
Yeah, I'm glad Jabari.
Overall last year.
Went to Cade Cunningham.
They're still trying to figure out how to crack the East. It's become a tougher conference with Boston dominating with the Milwaukee.
I ignored you the first time. You're going to keep trying to tell that lame-ass joke. Go and take a little time out and think about something new. Green with Jabari. Watch out, yeah. Don't take yourself a little time out, think of something new. This the draft. No need to talk about old-ass players. I'm not having that dumb shit tonight. Let's talk about what's going on there. So, hit the light.
Along with their picture.
Absolutely. Now, I think the guy
Hit the light.
that stands out to me is Ivey, right? You can see him pairing up alongside Cade Cunningham. The great thing about Cade is that he's really...
So y'all like Jaden Ivey to Detroit?
Not only can he get his, but he's great at facilitating for others. And I know Troy Weaver, last year he was very, very high on Jalen Green, right? He loved his athleticism. He loved his explosiveness. And now he actually has a chance to actually get a somewhat version of Jalen Green in Ivey.
Well, obviously we saw, as Adrian Wojnarowski reported, the departure of Jeremy Grant from the Detroit Pistons. He's on his way to the Portland Trailblazers. So there's a little bit of room there for the Pistons to add some more veteran presence to go along with their young core.
Yeah, and one name comes to mind, DeAndre Ayton, right? Another man's trash is another man's treasure.
Jeremy Grant gone to Portland?
We're talking about a guy that could average 20, 10, and 3 blocks.
So it's going to be, yeah, that's what I'm about to say. So it's going to be Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey.
/ center position. And I think Troy Weaver has his eyes on DeAndre Ayton. That's why he made room for him. And he's only 23 years of age. So he's still young that you can put him in right with the young core that you already have.
But if they do end up going with Jaden Ivey with this pick, why does he fit for an NBA-ready team that's hoping to crack that drought for them?
I mean, if you're going with best available player, I think this is the best available player, number 5, and I don't think there's much question about it. You know, Jaden Ivey's the best athlete in this draft.
Right.
I mean, he's the best athlete in this draft. You mentioned Troy Weaver like Jalen Green's athleticism. If he likes athleticism, Jaden Ivey's got it.
I think that might make a little bit of sense in Detroit. Detroit basketball. All right, the pick is in. Let's get it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Let's see.
With the 5th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Jaden Ivey.
Jaden Ivey. Good as dad and his mom.
This right here, Kendrick Perkins, is what it is all about.
Absolutely. Like, let it out. Let it out, young fella. This is about the journey. This is the necessary sacrifices that you made to get to this point to have your name called.
Well, and the first person that he hugged was his mother, and I just want to shed a little bit of light on their story. Ivey was raised by his mom, who played in the WNBA. She's now the head coach of the Notre Dame women's team, and he'll tell you they watched a lot of film together. They spent a lot of time together. She worked with John Morant. John Morant, someone he models his game after. But that time that he put in with mom, look at her, making sure she captures every single moment of her son having his moment on the stage with the commissioner.
Well, shit. His mother was in the WNBA. The nigga got pedigree.
This is what it is all about. Here are some of those moments we were mentioning Jaden and Niele Ivey. He's the second Purdue underclassman to be named to the first team All-American in the last 92 years. But really the story, the connection between him and his mom as a coach, as a player, is just so wonderful. Who has she coached him to become, Jed?
Well, a dynamic and explosive guard who is great in transition. His speed is
Watch the
remarkable.
kid play, bro. You think he play
on the
anything?
floor, he's fantastic.
Yeah, I about to say he don't play nothing like Gobert.
Very few other players have. It's Jabari.
I'm saying I look at him like a skinny ass Rafe LaFrance or a fake ass Austin Crozier. He might be Keith Van Horn.
He's got deep range. You never
I just Jeff, I say too many white guys like him.
Good reads and cuts with great speed.
I see Keith Van Horn, y'all.
His mom coaching John Morant. This guy probably has John Morant written all over him. When you talk about a dynamic, athletic guard that can get to the basket and finish above the rim, a guy that's real quick and shifty with the basketball coming downhill, and he will punch it on you and let you know about it. That's the thing I love about the kid Ivey, John Morant.
Well, it's not really.
Or he out the league in 6.
I mean, look at his mom. I said it before, but I will say it again. She was an assistant coach with the Memphis Grizzlies. I just want to reiterate, as we continue to celebrate Title IX and the strides that women have made, that it is still rare to see that. And so, shout out her and shout out Jaden Ivey. I just want to take a look at this moment again, because this, I can't say it enough. This is what it's about. It is not just a player getting drafted into the NBA. It is a journey the entire family is going on. That is the look of a proud mother, of a proud parent who says, you know what, baby, that's a job well done.
Absolutely.
So ignore the man's father.
It's really interesting because I do think most observers.
I understand his mother coached in the WNBA and she was a basketball player.
But this was the 5 we expected to be.
But bro,
What happens next?
that's ignore the man's father. Okay. All right, I guess.
Well, you can shoot craps. There are a number of.
I'm not a Chet Holmgren guy.
I think this is where the draft really starts.
So if the draft
You heard when he played against Moncaro and all of them, they beat him up
Well, you got
every time.
who's the mystery man. We haven't seen him play in 8 or 9 months and 5 months.
Yeah, he barely act like he wanted to hug his father. Like, nigga, get away from me.
Dyson Daniels out of the G League, who is a spectacular defender. Ben Mathurin from Arizona, who Woj reported yesterday, but they was being looked at in the top 5 a couple days ago and throughout the draft process. So there are a number of different ways that you could go with this number 6 pick.
Well, guess what? The pick is in, so we get to find out which of those best available will no longer be available. Let's send it back over to see.
I hope you're right, Jeff. This nigga smells like
With the 6th pick,
Laurie Markkinen all over again.
the Indiana Pacers select Bennedict Mathurin,
They did pick Ben Mathurin.
the NBA Academy Latin America, and the University of Arizona.
He is a hot Bama with that suit. But he not FBA, so I don't know.
Gotta make sure the fit is done up right.
She cried. Shot to dust him off.
Duren and his family. What did they say, Jay? Bear down?
Bear down, baby.
Bear down, baby. So Ben Mathurin, he's a talented scorer. He actually grew up in Montreal. His parents, though, are from Haiti. He attended the NBA Academy in Mexico City.
Me too, 225.
This is really interesting. He struggled with the language barrier and
Felix Nunez.
his teammates. And the NBA.
I think that nigga gonna be Laurie Markkinen.
He speaks Spanish, French, Haitian Creole, along with English. He was the Pac-12 Player of the Year. And I don't know, that might be my favorite suit that I've seen all night. That's pretty good, Big Bird.
He dripping. You said it was raining outside.
You gotta get an umbrella for that.
It is Versace. It is a Versace suit, but hell no. I'm sorry, hell no.
At the end of the night. Suit aside, what do you like about him, Joe?
Well, he's a shot creator and a shot maker. Shot 37% from 3.
Let me see. Oh, we got some bounce.
57%. Another guy with
Oh,
speed,
we got some rise.
transition, and he moves really well without the ball.
Give me that shit.
And I think Tommy Lloyd's offense was perfect for Ben Mathurin for cuts. He's in the 86th percentile in scoring off of cuts in college basketball last year. And he's a good defender, good pick and roll defender, and a guard rebounder. Averaged just about 6 rebounds per game.
Hey, that's
For Arizona. He reminds me a little bit of Karis LeVert. but-
OG Anunoby. That's just what I'm about to say. Dude, that is OG Anunoby.
His athleticism, his
That's just what I'm about to say. He OG Anunoby.
able to somewhat be a two-way player on the wing position. We talk about how important that wing is. He reminds me a lot of OG.
Yeah. He need to go eat with Zion, Jeff. Then he might be. But that nigga smell like Laurie Markkinen.
Taken by the Indiana Pacers. And the party isn't just happening here in Barclays Center. It's also happening in Mexico. I mentioned he attended the NBA Academy. So the party is going global.
Now, all them white people clapping for
him. Here's behind the scenes with Paolo Banchero, who was taken #1 overall. I think he might be right, Jay. That's a pretty good suit. Yo quiero Banchero. We will have more of the NBA draft coming up after this.
Hell
It's getting
yeah.
sensational.
Orlando Magic select Paolo Banchero.
Why is Mike Miller with Paulo Banchero?
What's up? This is Jaden Ivey, and this is my first connection. I fell in love with the game watching my mom coach women's college basketball. I'm traveling more now than I ever have, so I definitely stay connected with my mom.
It's really that you're getting drafted in the 50th anniversary of Title IX.
The opportunity that Title IX afforded my mom as a player and then as a coach provided me with the backdrop to where I fell in love with this game.
So what? His father didn't do shit.
No way, Chowder.
His father wasn't shit, huh? It was his mom. He just lived with him. I don't know if I'd like that. Like, yeah, if she taught him the game and all of that, yeah, she deserved a lot of praise. But she ain't even mentioning her husband.
Lexus RX, built for modern families.
She not even mentioning him. Jaden Ivey, he don't got a father. Is he his own father? I'm just saying.
$2 cheesy double beef burritos.
What if they told you you changed the game?
It's crazy.
What if they said you bring a franchise back to prominence?
Can't ask for nothing better than that.
What if they said you be the newest Magic act? What if they said no matter where your name appears on this board, the future is yours to create?
Right, Jaden Ivey don't. Man, fuck that nigga. He just said he was just gonna give him 5. He wasn't even gonna give him a hug.
The young kids and the seniors love doing art together. They love getting.
Ain't it though, Michael Lewis? You been paying attention to that too?
Everything about M&T is when times got tough, they jumped.
A lot of swirling going on out here.
M&T truly believes in our mission.
Swirlington Coach Factory when you're watching the draft, boy.
Help us achieve that.
Gotta hit the factory. Swirlington
I'm
Coach Factory.
of the law firm Greenberg and Medical. I grew up here in the
I don't want to talk about that nigga. He's a drug dealer and a piece of trash.
I was eager to return home after law.
That nigga got a law degree.
Which Greenberg and Betterman has happily done for over 35 years. If you're in a car accident, a victim of medical malpractice, or denied Social Security disability benefits, we're here to help you. Greenberg and Betterman. Contact us. Feel better.
NBA Draft 2022 is presented by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That shit crazy.
To the 2022 NBA draft.
Shit, Paulo Banchero mother is a swirler. His father's Italian. They ain't talk about his ass either.
2022 NBA
They ain't talk about Banchero father either.
select Shaedon Sharpe from London, Ontario, and the University of Kentucky.
Yeah, I remember him. I know he played with us. His little brother.
Back-to-back. Shaedon Sharpe, fascinating journey. Allow me to introduce Shaedon Sharpe because the 19-year-old, he's been this season
Shalom.
a true man of mystery. He's international. He's from London, but no, not that London. London, Ontario, home to a wide range of famous Canadians. You can see some of them there. And basketball, it's Sharpe's bag. So for his sophomore year of high school, he went to Bel Air. No, okay, not that Belair, Kansas. But after a year, he transferred. He took the jumbo jet west to Glendale, Arizona. Became the national #1 ranked high school prospect. And then he burst onto the scene at Kentucky, sort of. You can see his measurements there, but he didn't actually play. At Kentucky. He
Yeah.
practiced, so we're talking about practice, and that's when scouts, they came to see him there. But now, exactly who are we getting? We can see him there taking his hat.
This nigga ain't play.
Heading to Portland, shaking hands with Commissioner Adam Silver. But I mentioned that he's a man of mystery, Jay. Kentucky fans hadn't seen him play in a game, so who exactly are the Trailblazers getting?
Well, they didn't see him play because he reclassed from the 2022 high school class to go to college in January. He was the #1 player in that 2022 high school class. He's a 6'6" wing. He's got a 7-foot wingspan. And when I go to see Kentucky practice, I was supposed to be watching the team, and I was transfixed watching Shaedon Sharpe work out on his own with a coach on the side.
That's a push-off.
Strong lower body, really fluid.
Right. Right, number 15. Y'all saw that? He pushed off. That's a push-off.
Great range on his shot there. You can see the explosiveness that he's got. You mentioned he played for the
Yeah,
Knicks.
that nigga with a stiff arm.
But great potential and a really high ceiling on him as a super talented.
Oh, Portland picked him?
See him play in Portland. So I mentioned that he's from London, but not London, England, London, Ontario. So that means, look, multiple Canadian-born players drafted in the same lottery. Bennedict, Mathurin tonight, and Shaedon Sharpe join a.
I didn't know Nick Stauskas was a Canadian.
Shaedon Sharpe, once again, he is.
I wouldn't even want to bring up Anthony Bennett. They should never have done that.
It'll be interesting to see how they all fit and gel there.
Shaedon Sharpe want to get no time unless he dunking on motherfuckers.
We have the New Orleans Pelicans. They are on the
Jeremy
top with
Grant
number
just
8
went
pick.
there.
And
Dame
so
Lillard there.
the Trailblazers, right?
They got,
Departed the Blazers. He is now with the Pelicans.
They still got Gary Trent Jr. or they traded him for Norman Powell?
Think about the Pelicans, right? It's about continue to add depth for us young bigs.
Did they trade Gary Trent for Norman Powell?
That they could develop.
Yeah.
You know, I like the kid Jalen from Duren.
Yeah, that boy getting no time.
Fit well with the Pelicans as far as just his growth.
Right.
You know, coming in and being that Willie Green has done an exceptional job.
Somebody said they trading him.
Came in and been that leader
Trade.
that they locker room with his play on and off the floor. So when I think about the Pelicans,
Oh, they traded Gary Trent? Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought they traded him.
I think about the Pelicans.
Yeah, they traded Gary Trent. So
I think about Zion Williamson.
he ain't gonna get no time. That nigga, yeah, that nigga on the bench. Yeah, Young gonna be on the bench. He gonna have to dunk on somebody. He might get traded for the Nighters though. Then my man Big Biscuit Williamson. Big Biscuit Williamson.
you know what? They're going to be a force to be.
They got B.I.
To stay healthy.
They got CJ.
Part of the season. We watched Brandon Ingram take that leap as a young.
They got
superstar.
Zion.
We know what Zion Williamson is capable of doing.
Who else they got?
And he's the Zion that we saw before the injury. They're going to be a real problem in the Western Conference.
What they need, y'all? Point guard?
I was at that game when they got out of the play-in tournament, when they made it into the playoffs.
Point guard?
The energy that they had, the electricity that they had. This is a team that does not want
Point
to
guard?
mess with. They want to
Is
go
CJ
out.
gonna do most of the handling?
What's the missing piece for them here, James? Who do you see them taking?
Well, if they want a big guy, Jalen Duren of Memphis.
Yeah, but they got big guys.
Would have on the board. You know, if you're looking for a shot blocker, Mark Williams is still on the board. But there are a number of ways they can go. I mean, Dyson Daniels from out of the G League is an excellent defender.
Absolutely, and they have a couple of excellent defenders on that team. Mr. Steal Your Ball is on that team. Hey, you can't have too many good defenders.
Oh yeah, they do got that.
Commissioner Adam Silver.
They got that little Hispanic dude running around fouling niggas. The Hispanic Pat Beverly.
With the 8th pick in the 2022
That's right. They got
NBA draft,
Spanish Pat Beverly.
The New Orleans Pelicans select Dyson Daniels
Okay.
from Bendigo, Australia, the NBA Global Academy in Australia, and the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
His mom got a big ass nose.
Dyson Daniels headed to New Orleans, and he was pursuit is headed into our drip conversation for sure. At 15, he was playing for the NBA Global Academy in Australia alongside Thunder guard Josh Giddey. He grew up around basketball. His dad played for NC State.
Former teammate of Thunder guard Josh Giddey. Led G League Ignite and assists and steals.
He had to adjust to the physicality of the game a little bit, right, Jay? But he wound up leading the Ignite in assists and steals. What exactly are we going to see from him in the NBA?
Well, you mentioned it. He's an NBA-ready defender, leading the G League Ignite in assists and steals, as you mentioned. He can handle it. He rebounds at a high rate at 17 rebounds in a G League game earlier this season. But he can guard multiple spots.
They're going to Nick Stouses right there. Up. Give me that.
37% from the field.
Good defense.
And he's a very good passer.
Good vision. Yeah.
Solid finisher. He reminds me a little bit with his size and his length. He's got 6'11" wingspan. He reminds me a little bit of Matisse Thybulle when he came out of Washington. But he's actually a little bit bigger than Thybulle.
And he a better handler than Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle can't handle the ball like that.
He's a good offensive player. He's just not a guy that is wired to score and looking to score all the time. But
So he not going to get no time.
he's ready to defend in the NBA right now.
I want to see the defensive standout.
He not going to start. That nigga going to come off the bench and foul a lot.
And Herb Jones, and again, look, they're loading up at the wing position, and with like all the offensive firepower that the Pelicans have, this is a pick that they actually needed just to continue to add depth, right? You don't know if a guy's
Right.
getting foul trouble come postseason.
That's all he gonna do.
Will be in the postseason.
Yeah.
But you want to groom him and slowly bring him along, but you got the best in front of him that you don't have to rush the process.
Absolutely. Hey, you got to trust the process. Don't rush the process. But I mentioned that this was sort of a different path that we're seeing more and more guys take, going through the G League in order to get to the NBA now. So in the last 2 years, we've seen a couple of top 10 guys be drafted through the G League Ignite. Your guy, Jalen Green, NBA champion, put some respect on his name, Jonathan Kuminga. And then now Dyson.
Yeah, Jonathan Kuminga pretty good.
Ignite is a little bit different than the G League overall. These young prospects now have different choices to make. And the idea that you can't develop in the G League has always been wrong. Because all you're doing is basketball, and you're doing it on
I thought Sharif went back to school.
I still think college is the best way to go.
I thought Sharif went back to school.
The G League Ignite, there are other options.
I thought he went back to school.
And it's proven that it works. I mean, we're seeing guys getting drafted. We'll see how they do in the NBA. You mentioned Jonathan Kuminga and Jalen Green. Those guys have done very well very early, but we're going to see how this goes. It just gives players another solid option to develop as an NBA player.
Well, Jonathan Kuminga in particular, it was in part the system that he was put into that allowed him to succeed at this level. I know you're a big fan of Jalen Green. What have you seen as the difference, perhaps the secret sauce for your wings?
Well, then he's not getting drafted if he didn't work out for the Lakers. No, he gonna be. If he worked out for the Lakers, then no. I mean, he gonna be an undrafted free agent to get a chance to play with the Lakers. So no.
The transition of the coaches, right? You have more NBA coaches that's down there working with these guys, putting them in NBA sets, getting them NBA ready, working on their body, keeping them around that NBA atmosphere. I always tell people, there's nothing that will get you ready like being in the NBA or being somewhat around the NBA. That's the only thing that can.
Which is a great point. But the G League, I think the outsiders used to be seen as an insult, and it's not. It's an option.
Right.
And the development option there is a good one. It's not the only option.
Right.
College is a great one, especially now with NIL opportunities, and overtime elite is a
Yeah, he not no damn pro. I thought he did go back to school. He not no pro. I mean, I hate to say it. I know it's the boy dream, but the boy dreaming. He ain't no pro. He didn't jump out the screen at you. He jump out the screen on you.
Those guys are able to come to the games and watch the other players, and I think that's a great thing too.
He ain't jump out the screen on me, man.
Well, we're gonna maybe see a couple more guys, especially over the next couple of years, take that
Him
from the G League to the NBA.
and Alonzo's son.
The San Antonio Spurs, they have been on the clock. DeJounte Murray, he's had an incredible
Him,
21.1 points,
Alonzo's son.
9.2 assists.
Think about the niggas who good who had sons. Shaq's son. Alonzo's son.
138 steals, first career All-Star selection.
Shaq's son, Alonzo's son. Who else had a son? Patrick Ewing's son.
I'm gonna stay with the big, right?
Big Perk's gonna stay
I'm
with
gonna
the
stay
big.
with the big
Shocking.
because here's why. When you look at when you have a point guard like Murray, that's
Who?
to not only create for
Who else
himself,
was
but create for others, you need a dynamic role.
Oh yeah, D Wade's son. Thank
You
you.
need a guy that's gonna have your back.
Thank you, Miss Black D. And D Wade's son.
You need a guy that when you
Niggas that you thought was gonna be good when they came out of high school, man, they was extra bench ride. They sat way on the bench. You like, damn, they can't be that sorry, can they?
His middle name is essentially Little. Big Little Perkins. Like, that's just saying.
I don't think Little is in play here.
I don't think it's in play either. But who is in play for the San Antonio Spurs?
Jalen Duren, who we mentioned before from Memphis, is just a man-child. He has long arms.
Perk loves those.
I mean, he can block shots, rebound, run the floor, good short roller. He's in play.
Bronny,
Big guy. We mentioned Mark Williams from Duke.
yeah, Bronny gonna be average.
Protectors, guy who's a great lob threat.
Look, LeBron, I don't want to knock your hustle, young. Play with, you know, you want to play, be the first guy to play with your son. But it's not going to be like Ken Griffey with Ken Griffey Jr.
Who's arguably the best shooter on the
It's going to be like
The things that I've said, I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of the night. But
if Jordan
incredibly deep
son was Eric Snow,
Some of these guys, they may be drafted even higher than
if Kareem
Absolutely. I think another draft.
son was
Looking at a bunch of different guys that have different skill sets.
Benoit Benjamin,
A big guy on.
that's what, I don't mean to.
Talking about need, but I'd still go with the best available player.
Well, and you can see the best available players there. AJ Griffin, Jalen, Duren, Johnny Davis. There's so many, but we get to find out who it is. The pick is in. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver is here to tell us who it is.
Who the hell is JJJ?
With the ninth pick,
Jaron Jackson Jr.?
NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs
No, his father wasn't a star.
from Milton Keynes, England, and Baylor.
Yeah, his father was a lot of role players' kids be better. Remember, they thought Doc Rivers was a Steph Curry better than his father.
Sochan and his family.
A lot of role players have great kids. That's not nothing new.
I would try anything, to be honest with you.
Well, Sochan's backstory is unique. Both of his parents, they played Division II college basketball in Oklahoma, but he actually grew up in England. His late father, Ryan Williams, played professionally, and Sochan's mother
What?
Polish citizenship. So that allowed him to play for the Polish national team. And then at Baylor, he was known for just that. He was known for his different, unique hair colors. He contemplated which one he was going with for the draft for a little bit, but I like the blonde that he ended up with. He's the second Baylor freshman drafted after Quincy Miller.
Did she say Ryan Williams?
His mom's advice to him when he began to play, quote, be cheeky. How have we seen him be cheeky?
That's pretty good. My mom's advice was learn Italian. Jeremy Sochan is another one of these big sort of wings, 6'9". He's got a 7-foot wingspan and really versatile on both ends of the floor. He can guard 1 through 5.
Can't teach 6'10".
Match up to 25% shooting when he was guarding him. So he's got a great.
Yeah, I'm about to say you can't teach 6'10". He should be able to play defense.
And obviously north-south. He's got active hands, gets steals, and really good off the ball as a cutter. And Scott Drew at Baylor used him as a point guard at times late in the season, but an active rebounder, averages about 9 rebounds per 36 minutes.
This motherfucker is
His offense,
what's the name reborn? Boris Diaw reborn, y'all. This is Boris Diaw's bastard child.
Headed to the Knicks.
Look at Spike.
What are we But the Knicks, they're coming up. They're
This Mike talking to Jaden.
And also in the next segment, Chet Holmgren from Gonzaga is going to be joining us on set. Stay tuned for that. We'll be right back.
Look at his dad. His dad was tall. That's right, Chet. Show these motherfuckers. All right?
A lot of people assume NBA players can
Show these black bastards, Chet. Nah, I can't root for Chet Holmgren. I think Chet Holmgren finally say all lives matter. I can't root for Chet Holmgren.
Here's your master.
Thanks, my brother.
Do you need to reach anything else?
No.
Because I can reach it.
with surprisingly great rates that fit any budget, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. Call or click to get a quote today.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
We've been customers for years. I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too, switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
No, I think Chet gonna be better than Adam Morrison.
So wait.
I told you. I think he gonna be Keith Van Horn, Austin Crozier.
Most reliable 5G network. For every customer, current, new, everyone.
Thank you. What's up, love? I think he gonna be Keith Van Horn, Austin Crozier. Yeah, I know. Jabari Smith is Kwame Brown's cousin.
Constantly refreshing.
I know that. Right. That and Texas T. That's exactly why I'm trying to tell my brother Say Less that I can't fade Chet Holmgren. I seen this movie before.
Well, more you.
The so-called good white guy.
We hope you like your work. Are you the one others rally around?
Talk about he gonna be the best white American-born player since Larry Bird.
See your vision clearly, get there decisively. Explore more than 200 careers.
Jalen Suggs' father said that.
The Edge Pizza from Pizza Hut is back. Loaded with toppings all the way to the edge of a thin and crispy crust. I think I just blacked out and ate like 6 slices. Where am I? Am I on a Pizza Hut commercial?
Yeah, it could be Vladimir Radmanovic, number 77 for Seattle.
We're gonna try something different today.
I think Radmanovic accidentally won a ring with us too. Yeah, thank you, Texas T. That's what I'm about to say. Jalen Suggs' daddy is a motherfucking coon. Because Jalen Suggs' mom is white, ain't she? Hey, he gonna be a great white man.
Share the NBA Finals stage together. There are some notable anniversaries that we need to take a look at here. James Worthy, 3-time NBA champion, 7
James, big game.
1982. And then we have
David Robinson. What you mean, Shaquille?
Shaquille O'Neal.
Nah, that's Big Dave.
MVP. Well, let me just get out the way because he's a 2-time champion. And then it's Shaquille O'Neal, 4-time NBA champion. Just an easy 15-time All-Star who can also throw down and pull down the basket. Tim Duncan, 5-time NBA champion. He's a 2-time league MVP. One of the reasons that I fell in love with basketball. And then there's Yao Ming, 8-time All-Star. Take a look at what he can do. And then last, but certainly not least, let's get to the smidge more modern. It's
Anthony Davis.
8-time All-Star, 2022 NBA champion with the Los Angeles Lakers. You can see it there. It was in the bubble. What a strange time with virtual fans that were actually in the building. Do you think you can pull down a backboard like that?
What kind of question is
All right, the answer is yes. All right, the pick is in. Let's get it to Commissioner Adam Silver. He said nerf.
With the 10th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Johnny Davis from the University of Wisconsin.
Yep. Another product of Swirling Nation. Look. Leaving his black daddy right there. Nigga, the only reason you get drafted because your dad. Why is he again, another nigga want to slap their dad 5. No, hug your dad.
Season with the Badgers. He played with his twin brother Butler, Jordan. Johnny was the Big Ten Player of the Year, and when I asked him to describe his game, he told me he's a versatile guard that can score at all three levels. He just loves to compete and wants to help his teammates win. That's exactly what you want to hear if you are an NBA team. Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Jimmy Butler, that's who he patterns his game after game. Do you see any resemblances with those guys?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's accurate in some.
This nigga's getting no time, y'all.
But he's especially effective in the mid-range. I think he's a complete player. But
This nigga's getting no minutes. Let me tell y'all already, he's traded. The Wizards trading him. What he gonna? How he gonna do all that shit? We got Bradley Beal.
On the road in all those places for the first time ever, largely because of Johnny Davis and how he performed under those bright lights.
This nigga's not playing it. I don't know. The next stop is not Washington. This nigga's not playing. He's not getting no minutes.
And he's a really good wing scorer.
He's a really good trade prospect. Hey, y'all, do y'all see him getting any minutes?
The fans are in the building. They are standing up. They are standing up in anticipation of who the New York Knicks are gonna pick, and somewhere Spike Lee is sweating.
I seen that. She, no Miss Black D.
We got here.
Miss Black D. No, did you see the Taco Bell commercial where it's the black boy with the white girl? They about to go to the prom. You see the white girl's two parents. All you see is the black boy mom.
Julius Randle, though, the former most improved player, 20 points per game, 24 points per game in the 2020.
I see it. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Look, even the young fans, look, they're so young. They still have hope. They're excited.
Did you see that one, Miss Black D? It's the boy. It's the black boy with braces, white girl with braces. They're going to the prom. It's a Taco Bell commercial. They going to the prom. They in the yard, and the mom is taking pictures. The white boy, two parents there. And then all of a sudden, some go ding, and they all walk to Taco Bell. And I'm like, young, where his father at? I said, I guess I'm the only nigga that know this shit like that. That's why I don't eat Taco Bell.
They need to add perimeter play. Look, you already have RJ Barrett, who I feel like is an up-and-coming star, but you need to add somebody that can knock down shots and a combo guy, a guard, in my opinion. You know, Kemba Walker didn't turn out to what they wanted him to be last season. I think you got to add some pieces there. Evan Fournier didn't have the best season for the Knicks. If you want to continue to build in the right direction, you got to add shooting.
Yeah, if you're adding shooting, you know, we've mentioned A.J. Griffin, who shot 46% from three. I would take a look at Malachi Branham from Ohio State if you want that kind of thing as well, because I think he's got a ton of upside. And another outstanding shooter is Ochai Agbaji from Kansas, national champion. I don't know if they would take him this high, but if they're looking for shooting, those are three good shooters.
Well, Perk, you went away from your big. Oh my gosh, clearly the Knicks are on the clock because it was a little bit louder in here.
You know what? I got tired of jinxing.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I jinxed my bigs. That's enough. I feel like I'm going another day.
Well, again, it's getting louder and louder.
Joe Johnson, that shit ain't nothing new. That's what happened. It's college. Why are you asking a silly question like that? What you mean, like the Lopez twins that played together? Or Blake Griffin and his brother that played together? Or Michael Porter Jr. and his brother that played together? What are you talking about?
He is, and he keeps getting better.
Brothers always played together.
He comes out the next season and he proves.
Brothers have always played together. Stop it.
The pick is in. Who are the New York Knicks going to take? Let's find out from NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
Brothers have always played together. This is nothing new.
With the 11th pick in the 2022
The Morris twins.
The New York Knicks select
Stop.
Ousmane Dieng.
Oh,
from
yeah.
Bordeaux, France.
The Knicks booing his ass. Welcome to New York.
Ousmane Dieng is headed to the Knicks. A mixture of cheers and boos, but don't worry, young man. That is just how they do it here in New York. They ride with you until the wheels fall
Nah, they see that your father was swirling with this Becky and you got this crabgrass fro and you from Paris.
He's made a strong impression on pro evaluators with his move to the NBL's Next Stars program. He has to compete against much older, more experienced pros to show a level of perseverance with his New Zealand Breakers because they were forced to play an entire season, Jay Billis, on the road in Australia because of COVID. And interestingly, we always talk about who these guys compared to in the NBA, what experience they have under their belt. He's trained with his idol, Clippers wing, Paul George, but I'm hearing that we may have some news here, so let's bring in our senior NBA insider, Adrian.
I'm about to say, but NBA, if it ain't a black mom with a white man, it's a white mom with a black man.
The Knicks have traded Ousmane Dieng, the French forward who played for the New Zealand Breakers last season, to the Thunder. I'm told that the Knicks will get back multiple first-round picks moving forward, and Oklahoma City is back on the clock.
I knew that nigga was getting traded. They traded that nigga now.
Now you pair with Dieng with Chet Holmgren, a 7'1" wingspan, guard, plays like a guard, 6'11" here, playmaker, struggled a little bit the first half of the season, can shoot the ball from three, his length, his passing, this is an upside pick for the Thunder here. When you look at his last 10 games of the season in New Zealand.
So it's going to be him, Josh Giddey, SGA, and Chet Holmgren.
What he told me was he struggled the first couple months of the season because of COVID restrictions in New Zealand. He was basically locked in his room. And once he got a comfort level as far as to be out there, play basketball, which he loves, he really flourished. This is an upside pick, and now you've got two big with ultimate length here.
That's why his head, that's why Paulo's head and chin so damn big.
Oklahoma City, which means he is going to be teaming up with the guy who just sat down to sit down next to all of us. That is Chet Holmgren, who is also headed to Oklahoma City. Congratulations, Chet.
Thank you very much.
How are you feeling in this moment now?
Can't even describe it. I got 0 words for the 1,000 emotions that I'm having right now, but they're all very good.
Well, when you look towards Oklahoma City, just first reaction.
He got iced out dice on his jump.
One, get into Oklahoma City, having my press conference, for all the fans and the fan base, that I'm going to be representing, and then secondly, get into work as soon as I can.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but our friend Big Perk, he played for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and also he is known for his famous pep talk. So Big Perk, what do you got for the big fella?
You know what? I'm just going to tell you to be ready. I know that you are, and when I say be ready, when I think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, it's a first-class organization from top to bottom. Player performance, when you talk about guys like Donnie Strack, who's in the athletic department, Sam Presti has put together not only a hell of a facility, but a hell of a staff. And you're going to love it. Just pay attention. Just listen to what they say. They're going to guide you in the right direction.
What do you make of that advice?
I played at 290 my entire career. When I got to Oklahoma, I was 255. So if I could, get around, put in the work, I know they're going to get you right.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever reach 290.
No, I don't want you to. I don't want you to. I promise you I don't. Don't do it.
Chet, did you know what was going to happen when you were sitting there when the commissioner came out and called out Paolo Banchero?
Yeah, this was a good trade for the Knicks.
No.
And it was good for OKC too.
When you heard that and then heard your name second. Obviously, Paulo, a hell of a player. I'm proud of him and I'm happy for him. But when I heard my name, it's nothing but excitement, and I'm ready to get to work.
Phil, I want to ask you this. Where did you get the confidence and the swag from? I love it, but like when did you, when they finally hit that you use that guy? Because I love the way you carry this. Yeah, I love everything about it.
I'm just, being me out there. Yeah.
That's the answer.
You think you might get your dad a new camcorder because he's not gonna have to film your games anymore. They're all gonna be on TV. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna need to anymore, but at this point it's like a ritual. You can't break it. So yeah, if he needs a new camcorder, I definitely think I'll be able to get that for him.
Is there a teammate that you are most looking forward to meeting in Oklahoma City?
I'm looking forward to meeting all of them, getting to work with all of them. Those are my new brothers.
But I've been speaking to Josh a little bit throughout this process, so definitely looking forward to finally meeting him.
What advice is he giving you?
He been speaking to Josh. SGA is their best player.
What they are, and what he sees in me, and how we can play together.
Well, we're not exactly your dad in terms of recording you throughout this process, but we do have a little bit of behind the scenes. So just take a look over here. What do we think? What are we recording here? Is this? Oh, it's the hat.
Yep. I gotta get the hat on there. I gotta get the whole fit together.
Yeah. What is it with these dice?
So it's 3 and 4 on the dice. That's my number.
Okay.
3 and 4 adds to 7. 7 was my number with USA when we won gold last summer. I'm big on betting on myself, so I had to put the dice on the chain.
You rolled the dice. You bet on yourself. What number are you going with in Oklahoma City?
I don't know yet. Does anybody wear 34?
Well, if you do, there's some interesting bets that happen in the NBA for players over who gets the number. If someone does, and I don't know off the top of my head, what are you willing to put on the line to get number 34?
I'm going to have to do some thinking about that.
Okay, but don't worry, because we're going to be coming back and asking you. Chet Holmgren, congratulations. Thank you so much. Headed to Oklahoma City. Thank you for spending the time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And very smart not negotiating against yourself on that.
Exactly. Don't negotiate against yourself. Don't overbid before you have to. We appreciate that. All right, well, guess what? Another pick is in. Chet Holmgren gets to find out who may be his next teammate.
I don't like, is Chet, do y'all hear black scent? I don't trust motherfuckers named Chet.
In the 2022 NBA
Ain't that
draft,
Tom Hanks' son name?
Thunder select Jalen Williams from Santa Clara University.
This nigga look high. He don't look happy at all.
An emotional moment for Jalen Williams.
His mother cried more than him.
The junior guard out of Santa Clara. He has wanted to be a professional ball player since he was 6 years old, and that is all culminating in this moment as he is headed to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's the first prospect drafted from Santa Clara since Steve Nash was taken 15th overall in the 1996 draft. You can see Steve Nash there. 12 games he played with 20-plus points last season, tied for the second most in the WCC. Hey, that's my alma mater. What did we see in those games, Jay Billis?
Santa Clara?
He's made a huge jump throughout the course of his career. He's very productive, and some people call him a late bloomer, but he's continued
Buddy Hield.
throughout his basketball life.
Buddy Hield.
But he's got a 7'2" wingspan.
Buddy Hield.
He's very skilled, really good at catch-and-shoot situations. Shot 40% from 3. He's got an excellent middle game, and he's really good at ball screens. Very good pick-and-roll efficiency, good setting it up. He can go under, he can twist it, he can snake it, and an excellent cutter without the ball, but just a really confident player that plays at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he did look disappointed. He ain't look happy he was gone.
I want to show you, entering tonight, the Magic 8-ball, not quite dice, but 2022, they have 3 first-round.
Well, you know ain't nobody swirling with him.
Not to mention, through 2027, they have 18 first-round picks. That's the most in the NBA. And our Adrian Wojnarowski has referred to this as sort of the great experiment for Sam Presti. Woj, why is that?
Malika, just the investment that Oklahoma City has made now in the NBA draft of gathering up assets and now turning them into young players. They're just 2 years into this rebuild, and you look now at the talent they gathered. Josh Giddey, their first-round pick last year, who had an outstanding rookie season, and then getting Chet Holmgren at number 2 in this draft, in addition to his Ousmane Dieng and now Jalen Williams of Santa Clara. I think Sam Presti, Oklahoma City's GM, he scouted Chet Holmgren perhaps as much as any player that he has spent time with out on the road. That was absolutely their number one player on their board, and I think that was proven when Jabari Smith was available to them at number 2, and they still stayed with Chet Holmgren. But you see now the athleticism, the talent. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, their young point guard in Oklahoma City.
And Chet gonna spend all that shit.
Start now to see the shape of a team that's going to be
sisters
deep and talented
You Instagram thoughts that be watching LVZ, y'all better go hit that white man up.
Salary cap space when they decide
Get
they
you
wanna
some
get
quick
back
money.
involved in free agency.
Woj, thank you so much. Many first-round picks for the
Don't be like
We'll see them on the board again at 30.
Travis Kelce,
That comes from Phoenix, but now
girlfriend, trying to boo this nigga up.
someone to team up
No,
with.
don't boo this Peckerwood up. Get this money.
Ball, obviously one of the flashiest
Let me
players.
pay this
Who are
rent
you looking at?
real quick
I think Mark Williams of Duke could be
and
an
roll
interesting
out.
pick for
We know
them.
Perk's not gonna jinx. He's not gonna jinx him.
Am I going with the big guy thing with Perk? But for a guy that can set ball screens and roll and a lob threat with LaMelo.
I would tell you go with one of the black player sisters, but they already got a white girl.
Charlotte 13 and 15, maybe looking at Williams at one of those two spots.
I want to just put a little bit of context.
Them niggas already got white
Here,
girl.
LaMelo Ball, he was the fourth youngest All-Star ever, 20 years old, along with Magic, LeBron, and Kobe. So let's look at a little bit of a timeline here for where exactly the Charlotte Hornets are. What I just mentioned, the fourth youngest All-Star starter ever, and he absolutely earned it, but they lost early in the East play-in for the second straight season, so not exactly where they wanted to be. They hired Kenny Atkinson as head coach, but we know that has not come to fruition. He decided to stick with the Golden State Warriors after winning an NBA championship. And then there's Miles Bridges, right? 20.2 points per game. He is a restricted free agent, so we'll be monitoring that closely. I have said it before. To me, when I look at the Eastern Conference, for the last couple of years, we've been talking, Kirk, just about how talented the East is, how much they're making strides towards sort of what we thought is the power conference of the West. But now I sort of see the Boston Celtics, the Milwaukee Bucks, they stand above them all. The Brooklyn Nets have a lot of question marks.
What about the Heat?
Look at some of the Philadelphia 76ers, they have a lot of question marks. What do you see for the Charlotte Hornets here?
Well, just remember, they were right there. They were right in the play-in tournament. And look, you had to have, there was 4 games.
What about the Heat?
This season. So
Motherfuckers just disrespect Miami, huh?
And I love what Michael Jordan and everybody in the organization has done for us, giving the keys to LaMelo Ball. This guy's the ultimate playmaker. He's so unselfish. He makes people around him better. And like Jay said, all they need is that live threat and rim protector. They need that guy to match up with the point guard LaMelo to be able to roll with.
They had a winning record.
Wing guys that are spot up in the corner.
And they've made really good incremental progress. They were 10 games above the prior year, 2 years in a row, which is hard to do. I mean, I was surprised they let go of James Borrego. I would not have done that, but
a lot of people where I was.
You serve at the pleasure of your employer, but I was surprised by that. They do need a coach and quickly get the right next person. But I agree. I think Williams is an interesting choice.
When you got motherfuckers say, nah, I'll be an assistant before he before he be a head coach, you know Michael Jordan ain't.
Immediate impact in changing that culture. Accountability was a big word that he used over and over. Obviously coming from the Monty Williams coaching tree, that's incredibly important. So let's see if they get that. They have to get that right first. They also have to get the pick right. The pick is in, so let's head to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to see who is headed to Charlotte.
With the 13th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Jalen Duren from the University of Memphis.
Jalen Duren headed to the Hornets. And Jay, he may be the most physically gifted big man in this draft.
Well, we talked about it being a man-child. I mean, he's physically imposing. A guy who's 6'11" with a 7'5" wingspan. Solid rebounder, a very good rim protector. And we talked about Mark Williams being a lob threat. So is Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren.
AAC in rebounds. He had 3 offensive rebounds per game. He can go get the ball and get you extra possessions. He catches everything with those great hands, and he dunks everything. And I think he's a pretty good passer, especially out of the high post. He's been limited as a shooter, and he's a poor free throw shooter, but very, very talented.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of look at him like a Bam.
They call him a Bam?
Yes, absolutely. defensively, I look at him as a guy that's a rim protector, versatile defender that can switch 1, 2, 3 fives. And we talk about being a linebacker at the basket, going dribble, handoff actions, rolling to the basket, opening it up for other people, and he's a pretty good passer.
Well, one thing that we talked about earlier is how much experience in playing against men can matter. And one of the reasons that he chose Memphis, right, was because of the experience
Jalen Duren.
that had guys like Penny Hardaway,
I about to say.
Cody Topper, Rasheed Wallace. But guess what? He's headed to the Pistons. So that's distant. He will be headed to the Pistons, according to our Adrian Wojnarowski. So
He just got
on
traded.
the move as the Cavaliers get on the clock. And the Cavaliers,
Damn, he just got traded.
an exciting year.
So the
They may
Pistons
be the
getting.
team that I am most excited to watch next season in the NBA because they're going to be a force.
Jalen was always a hot name ever since Jalen Rose.
They're full of talented big men. Look at this turnaround for them.
For real. If I didn't already pick charisma, my son's mom would have named charisma Jalen. No bull. When they heard the name Jalen, they loved the name Jalen.
I did. I mean, excellent shot blocker. He really knows the game really well.
Yeah.
Great feel, great touch around the basket.
It's the new Antonio.
But you know what? Shout out to Kobe Allman, Brandon Wayne.
It's the new Antonio.
The way that they turned this.
That's all it is. Jalen is the new Antonio. Back in the day, it was always a nigga named Antonio. Jalen is the new Michael. It's always somebody named Michael. Just the new name, you know. You know our people.
But that was in part because, well, they were run down. They were hurt at that point in the season. You know, Jared Allen worked.
We're rhythmic people, so we sometimes we change the pace of the way things sound.
Do you think, Jay, that'll take them over the top?
Well, I don't know about the piece that takes them over the top. They still have, I think, a long way to go. But if they're looking for shooting, the guys I would target here, Malachi Branham of Ohio State, who I think is going to be an outstanding player.
Yeah.
So he probably
I
will.
think is undervalued. You know, you've seen Ochai Agbaji mentioned in this slot.
He ain't
I don't think they're gonna
NBA.
go with a big guy. You know, it's going to go. You think it'd be a wing? You think it'd be a wing or guard?
Yeah. Cleveland don't need no big man.
I think they have to pick a wing at this slot. Right? You think they already got elite guard play. We don't know what the future holds for us with Colin Sexton, but we do know that you have a young star in Darius Garland. We do know that Evan Mobley is a young star on the rise. Karis LeVert. I mean, they plugged him in. Once he got situated and once he got into the flow of things, he was pretty great for him. Now you want that two-way defender.
Yep.
Right? Now you want a guy that you could just plug in, gonna play.
How about
slow,
say they got
that you can
centers?
bring along slowly, maybe come in off the bench, but a guy that's gonna provide, give you 15, 20 minutes a game.
Well, and Karis LeVert, obviously, he had to overcome an incredibly scary health issue. We're so glad to see him back out on the floor contributing for that team. He's going to be such an important piece moving forward. And yeah, over the top doesn't mean to a championship, but past the play-in, maybe even making one of those deeper runs, finishing 5th, 4th in the Eastern Conference. That is.
I think Cleveland needed two guards.
So I want to revisit because this is all about.
So they could move Sexton.
Well, the best available, I still have A.J. Griffin up there. He's probably the best shooter left on the board.
Then look for him.
Ochai Agbaji, but mentioned Malachi Branham, Mark Williams still available. I don't expect Cleveland to take a big guy here. And, you know, Charlotte could grab him up at 15.
Ty Washington, Agbaji,
still on the board.
Malachi Branham.
Tari Eason of LSU is a really good defender, really long-armed and athletic.
Well, the pick is in. We do not expect it to be another big, but we shall see. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
They don't need big men. They got too many. They already can play 3 7-footers at once.
With the 14th pick, the 2020
They're the only team in the league that play 3 7-footers at
Cleveland
once.
Cavaliers select Ochai Agbaji from the University of Kansas.
Yeah, that sounded right. And neither two guards.
Ochai Agbaji headed to Cleveland. I had a chance to meet his father earlier. What a fantastic family. This young man has just had an absolutely remarkable rise. His father is from Nigeria. Both of his parents, they played college ball. But he wasn't actually a big name recruit all the way up to his senior year of high school, an assistant coach at Kansas. Caught wind of him. He wound up there. He started in 116 games in 4 seasons at Kansas. The Jayhawks, obviously the 2022 national champions, and Agbaji was the Final Four.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
And he could play right now. He could play right now. He could play right now.
He's what you call a 3-and-D guy in the NBA. He's athletic, a solid defender, but he can really shoot it. I wouldn't call him a shot creator, but he operates off screens, facing the floor, and defensively, he's got a competitive edge.
And Darius could set him up.
From 3 on 6.
He could play now for them. That's a good pick.
Be explosive to the rim, a very
That's good. Yeah.
12 in scoring and 19 a game. What really stands out.
And what's funny is that's what I expect this NBA game to look like. This year, 8.5. Next year, 10. 14 by year 3. 18 probably pushing it. But if he could shoot 41%, he could do it.
At 41% from 3 his senior year.
I think he can average 8.5 this year.
There's nothing wrong with us that went to mid-majors. It was just lovely and dandy. I have to rep for the WCC here. All right, that's going to do it for the lottery portion, but we're going to come back with the rest of the first round after this.
Santa Clara's not a mid-major.
A lot of trades, y'all. Let's see what happened for the rest of the night. We did the lottery. So, we know number 1 was Paolo, 2 was Holmgren, 3 was Jabari. Not J Bars, but Jabari Smith. Unfortunately, he was Kwame's cousin, for those who just joined in. Jabari Smith goes to the Rockets. OKC gets Chet Holmgren. Paolo Banchero went to Orlando. Keegan Murray went 4th to Sacktown. Jaden Ivey went 5th to Detroit. Bennedict Mathurin went to Indiana. Shaedon Sharpe went to Portland, number 7. Dyson Daniels went 8 from the G League Ignite to Pelicans. Spurs got Jeremy Sochan from Baylor, 9. Wizards got Johnny Davis, 10, a guard from Wisconsin. That got to get traded. Knicks got Osame Deng and then traded him. OKC got Jalen Williams, guard for Santa Clara. Hornets got Jalen Duren, but traded him to Detroit. 14, Cleveland, Ochai, Agbaji. Hornets will be up next for 15.
That's cool.
Yeah, coming off of Sexton gonna be ready to play next year. And maybe he could be like a 6-man and give him like a 20-point punch off the bench, like a Monte Ellis type. That's how I would use him. I would not get rid of Colin Sexton. I would keep him, use him off the bench in a Monte Ellis type role where I could sit Garland down. I can bring Kevin Love in with him. I can sit Evan Mobley down. I keep Jared Allen, Kevin Love, him. I can sit Karras down and Darius down. And I can let Colin Sexton just go crazy. You dig what I'm saying? Let him go crazy. Put a couple of shooters like that. Agbaji, put him out there, and another shooter with Colin Sexton, Kevin Love, and fucking Jared Allen, while Mobley, Marjon, and Garland are on the bench. That's what I would do, and I would seriously.
So the lottery may be over, but the excitement is not. I want to shed some light on some
Damn.
background gems, some diamonds, if you will. They were outside
Yeah,
the
Kawhi
lottery.
Leonard
Kawhi
was
Leonard,
15, but I knew him.
Buckets, Butler, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, an NBA champion, a two-time MVP and a Finals MVP. Not to mention Rudy Gobert, Pascal,
Jordan
Siakam,
Poole, 28.
Murray,
Maxey out of Kentucky.
and Jordan Poole. The picks are coming fast now. The Charlotte Hornets pick is in. Let's send it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 15th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Mark Williams from Duke University.
Mark Williams headed to Charlotte. You can see him hugging his family there. He's not the only sibling to play. His older sister, Elizabeth, she was selected fourth in the 2015 WNBA draft by the Connecticut Sun. She used to bring him to the gym with her. And actually,
10 points per game over 70.
special permission from the Mystics.
Defensive player, 11.7 boards, 2.8 blocks.
Family. He measured at 72 inches in shoes at the combine, but get this part. He has the highest standing reach, 9 feet 9 inches, the longest among active NBA players. I'm talking bigger than Boban.
I know he could tie his shoes within the straight.
He was also a finalist for the 2021-22 Naismith Defensive Player of the Year. Jay, what type of player is he? What strengths does he have that you most want to highlight?
Well, the first thing that stands out, Malika, he is a shot blocker, shot changer.
Larry Sanders.
He really goes after the ball. His timing.
Larry Sanders.
For that length and that reach.
Give me that shit. Larry Sanders.
He can really run the floor. He's a rim runner and a big-time lob threat. You can throw it up there and he can go get it. And an excellent offensive rebounder. Gets over 3 offensive rebounds per game. And he shoots over 70% from the foul line. I think he shot 74% this last year. So he's got a nice touch. Only guy in the country who shoots 70% from the field.
Larry Sanders.
From the line. It's a pretty good indication that he can stretch that range out and start to make a 17, 19-foot jumper in time.
And you talk about his dog mentality and going and being the beast down low, 3 offensive rebounds. His player comp to me is his sister Elizabeth. Look at this block right here. Makes almost the same athleticism and the same mean mug stare down.
And the same row. Not in the same row as Dan.
Let me see. They said this Bama play like his sister. Why he try? There she go.
Years and years, or rather, actually, he's been in the gym with her. There's the hug between him and Elizabeth.
There you go.
And his moment with the NBA commissioner.
I like that.
Shot blocker, absolutely incredible. I do though want to bring in
His sister was throwing this shit out into the sky.
What more can you tell us?
His sister was throwing his shit in the tree till he got told.
And the Jeremy Grant trade from Portland, that's on its way to Charlotte for Memphis center Jalen Duren. Now, Troy Weaver, the Detroit general manager, he had two real wish list targets in this lottery. It was Jaden Ivey from Purdue and Duren from Memphis. Didn't imagine that he'd be in position to get either of them, but Ivey dropped, was not selected at number 4 by Sacramento. They were able to land him there. There have actually been conversations in Detroit about perhaps Jalen Duren at number 5 if Ivey wasn't there. And now the trade to go get Duren. And now all of a sudden you look at this rebuild in Detroit with Kate Cunningham, last year's number 1 overall pick, Jaden Ivey, perhaps the most dynamic player in this draft, and Duren from Memphis, who is a young center that could be a building block for them. This is why Arn Tellem, the president in Detroit, hired
Troy Weaver.
From Oklahoma City.
This motherfucker forgot who he was talking about.
And now you're seeing
that nigga drunk as shit.
This Pistons organization has replenished their young talent base.
Absolutely. Well, that's what this night is all about, right? It's
Yeah, BSA. Tonight the draft, baby.
Front office in these franchises as well. And speaking of, currently the Atlanta Hawks, they are on the board. A little bit of a disappointing season for them, I would say, this year, Big Perk, just because it was a little bit of a Cinderella run, sure, to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. So they set those expectations.
The Hawks done traded everybody.
What are you looking at for them?
You know what? I would like to see them add like that stretch forward. That stretch forward, that guy that can spread the floor, and give Trey a chance to operate in the pick and roll and get down here and do his thing, spacing.
Well, the pick is in. Let's see who is headed to join Trae Young in Atlanta and send it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 16th pick in the
Yeah, they're going at the Brunson. They had his father.
The Atlanta Hawks select A.J. Griffin from Duke University.
A.J. Griffin headed to Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta where the players play basketball in the Griffin family. A.J., he's the son of Raptors.
Oh, okay.
Adrian Griffin, who played 10 years in the league, and his sister Aubrey is a junior forward at UConn. Talk about a powerhouse. His brother played at Syracuse. AJ actually missed a little bit of his high school career dealing with some just minor injuries, but that was a chance for him to join the Raptors when they temporarily relocated to Tampa. So he was able to train there with Kyle Lowry, with Fred VanVleet. Just a whole lot of experience there for him. He's been
That white woman ain't his mother. Who is that white woman he was hugging? That's not his mother. Not that Negro's mother. That white woman, she must be light-skinned and using fade cream. But no, that brother has two black parents.
Really good shot fake, and he's reliable on.
Oh.
You wouldn't call him a spectacular run and jump athlete, but he's a good athlete. And his cover shot 35% this season. He's a long-arm defender that has length
That's all
and
it is.
strength. So he's solid on both ends of the floor, but his shooting ability sets him apart here.
I mean, surprise, surprise, Jay. Duke is already cleaning up tonight. Might they have 5 first-round picks? We could see. Paolo Banchero, Mark Williams, A.J. Griffin. Who might join them?
Look at that smile.
I know.
I smile all the time when everybody's drafted.
Well, you know why I am smiling right now? Because Jabari Smith Jr. is here with us. First of all, Jabari, congratulations. I know this is something that you have been working toward for years and years. Can you just describe, we saw your emotions, I'm sure some nerves in the green room. What were you feeling when you heard your name called?
You know, this is something I've been dreaming about since I was 5 years old, so hearing my name called, it's like everything settled down and all the emotions came out. I told all my friends I wasn't gonna cry, but I couldn't hold it back no more. I seen my dad, my mom, and it was just, I had to let it out.
Sometimes you can't help it. I'm gonna preface this by saying Kendrick Perkins is from Texas, so be kind here. What are your impressions so far? Who have you heard from within the Rockets?
I talked to the general manager not too long ago, but I think I'm gonna talk to Jalen very soon, and just knowing they got a young core, young team that I can go in there and just grow with, you know, learn from, and just, you know, overall just be hungry and just be patient and just be ready, you know what I mean?
Man, what's up with this guardian shit? You got a white woman that just look over. No, you're not looking over.
So this is your camera right over here.
Okay.
Can you tell Houston Rockets fans what they are getting and why they should be excited?
You're getting a hard worker. You're getting somebody who's gonna come in with a chip on their shoulder. Somebody who's gonna come in and compete from day one. Somebody who don't care about stats. Somebody who's gonna do anything your team needs him to do. Is that defend, score, anything? You know what I'm saying? So you're getting a hard worker.
You ain't say rebound. I'm
All I
nervous.
care about is that W. So that's what I've been.
I love that you're coming in with a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You've been wired for sound tonight, so let's just take a listen to what you've had to say.
Stephen A. said you was looking good, Jay.
Look at this mom.
This is just
With the 3rd pick in the 2022 draft, the Houston Rockets select Jabari Smith Jr. from Auburn University.
Yeah.
I love you, boo. And you good. Yeah, I got you. I love you.
You said said that you're coming in with a chip on your shoulder. I spoke to Jalen Green moments after he was drafted last year, and he already said, I'm coming in with a chip on my shoulder because I should have gone #1, and now I'm going for that rookie of the year. What are you going for in your first year with that chip?
I'm trying to make the playoffs. You know, rookie of the year is definitely in my eyes, but, you know, I want to win games, you know what I'm saying? That's just that's how I was raised. That's just who I am. I want to come in and win games, and if I'm coming in every game trying to win it, I know everything else to take care of itself. So I'm looking forward to a good
Hey, young. Hey, y'all got the player that I like. Y'all got the one I like. So I think y'all came up. I'm H-Town. Good looking out, H-Town. Take care of him, y'all. Y'all take care of him. I think y'all might have a gym. I just don't believe in Chet Holmgren yet, y'all. His name is Chet.
You want to go there and achieve your dreams, but you got people on that coaching staff who I'll talk to for the rest of my life. Like Marquise Daniels, keeping my head straight through college, like that was my first year, so I went through a lot of ups and downs, and he just kept me grounded. He always reminded me that, you know, keep my head grounded, just focus on basketball, you know what I mean? So,
you said Marquise Daniels?
Coach Pearl, all of them. They just help me so much, you know what I'm saying? I thank them for life, you know what I mean? So a great coaching staff and a coach staff that care about you can go a long way. So
Jabari, when Malik asked you to describe yourself to Houston fans, the first thing you said was hard worker. And I saw that in you when I get to practice early. You're already there working with your workout coach. What does hard worker mean? What does that mean?
Somebody who's going to go the extra mile, you know what I mean? Somebody who always thinking that they're not doing enough, you know what I mean? Well, when I finish any workout, I always try to do extra, you know what I mean? I always know I got a little left in the tank, so that's just the type of person I am, you know what I'm saying? Raised by my dad, raised by somebody who played at this level and knows what it takes, you know, that's just how I was raised.
You know what, I want to talk about the impact, right?
Right, because that's how his father had to be in the league.
Like the pressure of being being the son of a father that played in the NBA. Yeah. How did you handle that growing up and, you know, embrace it as well?
It was a lot of expectations, you know what I'm saying? Growing up in Atlanta, it's like everybody telling you how good your dad was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody looking at him as this big, you know what I'm saying, role model and just this big superhero in the city of Atlanta. So just growing up, you could always hear it. It's like, you know what I'm saying, I want to be better than him. He was, and I want to do more than him. So that was always what I wanted to do, and that's what he wanted too. So we just put it together. He always raised me to just play the right way. You know what I'm saying? I always play for the love of the game and just enjoy it. You know, that's what he got out of. So he always tried to drill it in my head just to have fun with it, and that's where my hard work ethic comes from, and just overall because I love the game. You know what I'm saying? So.
Have you already picked up the Texas barbecue spots that you're going to?
I think Perk can help me out with that.
You go straight to the turkey.
I mean, clearly Perk can help you with that.
Did you hear what he said? He said go straight to the turkey leg hut. Did y'all hear Big Perk? Did y'all hear? Shouts out to Big Perk. Go straight to the turkey leg hut. This nigga look like Marcus Smart.
One of the most explosive finishers in this draft class. I mean, he started his career at Cincinnati, he came off the bench, transferred to LSU, quickly evolved into one of the most improved players in college basketball. We're just saying goodbye to Jabari. His mother, I love this day. His mother nicknamed him Peso because, hey, Park, his jump shot is always money. That's a bar for you to use. See? He was see? And you talk about food. He was on the 2021-22 SEC first team, 6th man of the year. Jay, what do you like about this young man?
Just about everything. He's a transition wing with a
6'8".
Very athletic. And is a defender, a rebounder, especially an offensive rebounder. He has 2.5 offensive rebounds per game. He has a ton of value. And he came off the bench. He was a 6th man. You mentioned he started at Cincinnati, averaged 7-8 points a game. Came off the bench for LSU. Never complained. He didn't, demand to be a starter. He's a team guy. He can stretch it out and shoot it 36% from free and an 80% free throw shooter and top 5 in college basketball in player efficiency rating at just over 33.
And you talk about his defense and you talk about what he brought defensively.
So
he's busier than a fox in the hen house. He reminds me a lot of Herb Jones, a guy that's going to shoot the pass lane, play with that tenacity, deny the wings, being able to switch out and play multiple.
So this the dude who either gonna play beside or behind Jabari.
This man said a fox in a hen house. Let's take one more look at his
He gonna play.
the hat. Yeah, that is a jacket. And
He gonna probably play the 3. He gonna probably play the 3.
All right. Well,
Then they got rid of Christian Wood. So Jabari gonna be the 4. He will play the 3. No, he gonna be behind Kevin Porter. So he gonna be the one to get off behind Kevin Porter Jr. It's gonna be Jabari, Kevin Porter, Jalen Green. He might get traded. You might be right. He might get traded. Because Kevin Porter Jr. is not losing his spot.
From being interior to perimeter this last season.
Absolutely. So we'll see which of Jay's best available go next as the 2022 NBA draft continues.
They're going to trade all of them for John Wall.
Welcome to the next level. This is the Lexus.
I got it 17.
Watch for traffic.
And our most advanced safety system ever.
You might think you don't belong.
Tari Eason
Because of what you look like.
from LSU. He's 6'8".
But
That's
don't
that
let
dude with
someone
one arm.
else do it first. Want doesn't look like anything. And it can't come from anywhere. But within.
Yeah, that's that dude with one arm.
I'll get you the file.
Cook it, motherfucker. He'd grab that jump with that little jump.
You're tired?
Dude be cooking.
Nah, Army.
Yeah.
Check your spam folder. The best things in summer.
He not starting, Rashawn. He not starting. Kevin Porter ain't losing this spot to him. Dude gonna come off the bench and play hard and get good minutes off the bench.
Kiddo was away for me too.
And if Kevin Porter get hurt and he play good, but
I'm trying to keep that legacy alive.
I don't see dude start. I see Jabari, Kevin Porter Jr.
The NBA final stage together.
Probably so. Kevin Porter Jr. ain't y'all point guard. That's y'all 3. That's y'all small forward. Jalen Green will run the point.
Hyundai SUV. It's your journey. Oh, right now for a limited time. At least the
Kevin Porter Jr. ain't y'all point guard. If he is, that's why the fuck y'all be losing. I thought Jalen was running the point most of the time. The way he don't shoot. Shit.
Buy a Tacoma now with 1.75% APR financing. Or hit the trail in a 4Runner, ready for the toughest terrain with the best resale value.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
For 22, according to Kelly Blue Books KBB.com. See your dealer and reserve yours today. Toyota, let's go places.
Look this up now.
Award-winning safety.
You look this up now.
Hyundai SUV.
That's why y'all saw it. If that's the case, I thought Jalen Green. Let me look this up.
Or Tucson for just $249 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
Friday, we'll be heading back to Ball Arena in Denver for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Finals between the Lightning and the Avalanche. Our coverage begins at 8 o'clock Eastern on ABC and ESPN+. All right, the Chicago Bulls, they're on the clock. Let's look at their last season here. They made a push toward the playoffs. They were eliminated by the Milwaukee Bucks. Now their pick is in. Let's send it to NBA Commissioner Adam.
Well, I got pictures of John Wall with sunshades on.
With the 18th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Chicago Bulls select Dalen Terry from the University of Arizona.
Who?
Dalen Terry, sophomore guard out of Arizona. What do you like, Jay?
Well, Dalen Terry is a glue guy. He's like a Swiss Army knife out there. He does everything. Another player, wing, who's long, athletic, a really versatile defender, and has a great understanding of the game and how to play.
That makes no sense.
He's a good passer, very good in transition, and an excellent cutter.
Yeah, y'all don't this year. No, y'all didn't. That's because what's his name got hurt.
Coaching these guys to move without the ball.
That's because what's his name got hurt.
He can make a three, but just a athlete that's versatile.
And Anthony Lamb 6'6". That's because Christian Wood got hurt. Don't do that. That ain't fair.
On the draft era, you can see Dalen Terry and Ben Mathurin.
Y'all did have Kevin Porter Jr. playing point guard. That shit is wrong.
Chicago. All right. What do you think of where Chicago sits now, Big Perk?
You know what? I love.
That's why y'all brought in Dennis Schroeder.
You know, adding a guy like Terry to this team is
Yeah, Jay Sean Tate is a small forward. They had him playing for. They need to fire. I'm sorry, they need to fire his ass. Steven Silas needs to get fired. Hey, Steven Silas need to get fired if that's the case. I don't care. I ain't for black men losing their job, but if you doing that, you need to get, yeah.
It's the second time that they had a playoff appearance since 2005 this year, and we all remember the moment that Patrick Beverly jumped on the table.
They need to can you.
NBA third team, and Anthony Edwards, just an absolute star in the making. Bright spot for them. But here's the question mark, right? D'Angelo Russell was sort of their X factor this year, Kendall.
I mean, yeah, he has.
Mayweather running like shit. He keep whining, want me pet him, but he's scared for me to bring him in there. He's scared for me to bring him in. Shit's crazy. Damn.
Have you seen Hustle yet? It was pretty good. Anthony Edwards is good. I was a fan. All right. Well, this is just in our Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that this pick will be on the move to the dark side, Kendrick Perkins. It is on its way to Memphis. Again, this pick on its way to Memphis. So, Jay, I just want to read.
Damn, Minnesota great trade. They picked the Memphis.
On the board right now.
Well, the list: Malachi Branham of Ohio State, Ty Washington of Kentucky, E.J. Liddell of Ohio State.
Man, they said trade D-Lo for what? What is Perkins talking about? They better not trade D-Lo.
Yeah, you got some wings, guards. E.J. Liddell, more of an undersized big guy that's moved out to the perimeter. So there's some good options here for ultimately going to Memphis.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of options. I referenced the dark side because that's what Kendrick Perkins calls Memphis. The pick is in though, so let's see who will be on their way to be walking in Memphis and send it to NBA Commissioner Adam Silver.
With the 19th pick, the 2022 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Jake LaRavia from Wake Forest University.
Jake LaRavia, the junior forward.
Who the hell is that?
Jay, what stands out to you?
Nothing. He's a bum. No, look, see, when they say shit like, he can cut good as a motherfucker. Fuck you mean he can cut? Traded to Memphis. Yeah, that nigga sitting on the end of the bench in Memphis. I can see niggas doing this already after dunking on him. Can you? I can already see niggas just doing this to him. Just jamming on his head. Shit, he gonna get flu flammed, y'all. He gonna get flu flammed. I ain't drafting no nigga look like he great get dunked on. Nigga, you look like you finna get dunked on. Nigga look like he was born to be posterized. Nah, they should. That's why they trading that pick to Memphis. Oh, that's who y'all wanted? Shit, Ant-Man. They drafted niggas that Ant-Man gonna posterize. Let's give him to Memphis. Ant-Man, is LaRavia gonna play tonight? Well, they went, he can cut. Yeah. Watch him. He know how to cut back door. I hope that nigga know how to look up.
Verizon just gave us all a brand new iPhone 13.
Keegan.
Customers for years. I thought new phones were for new customers. We got iPhone 13s too. Switched to Verizon 2 minutes ago.
You said some Memphis guy who Minnesota should have got.
So wait, everybody gets the same brand new.
I think that's the point.
Now everyone can get a new iPhone 13 on us on America.
They got Pat Bev, man. Showtime. They got Pat Bev. Ain't that what Ticket said?
Don't PTA meetings end at 9.
They got Pat Bev, man. He's better than Draymond.
There's no way, Shaedon.
What?
Yo.
What Russell Westbrook say? He fooling y'all, man. Running around there doing nothing.
To look up and see those names, I know I'm in a place of gods.
Mm-hmm.
Terrific team. We just play the right word.
But all things that are great one day come to an end.
There's a family feud over who will run the Lakers.
This family won't carry it over onto the court.
There's never enough success to go.
That's what it is. It is a real life succession.
All these people want to hear my Laker secrets. The camera on my face.
Yesterday, NBA
Even LeBron in them.
in a number of community events across New York City. Draftees, they led you.
Showtime. Hi, B.
NBA Cares Project in partnership with the NBA.
Hall of Fame. 2056. 2056. God damn. We're gonna run out of players before that nigga get. The only way Pat Bev is making the Hall of Fame is if the NBA runs out of players. That if they made a Hall of Very Good, he wouldn't be in that. He wouldn't be in the Hall of Very Good. He wouldn't be in it. Niggas act like he like Marcus Smart or somebody. He not. Right. Thank you. This whole draft class is full of Hall of Famers. If Pat Bev gets in. The little kid that keep dribbling the ball when you trying to get some sleep outside your house is a Hall of Fame.
Very talented. And this is the range you go. We're still operating essentially on the first page of all of our lists. And the 19 picks have all been off page one. So we haven't had any really big surprises as far as guys moving up. You know, Jake LaRavia had ranked in the 20s. He went 19th. That's not a huge surprise. Not a huge jump. Blake Wesley of Notre Dame. This is the range you could see an athletic wing who's young and very talented like Blake Wesley going.
Parker, Jay mentioned it. There's the best available, and then there's the best fit. When you're looking at the San Antonio Spurs, a group that has a fantastic young core, what do you see as the best?
Can somebody look up if the nigga even made up?
You can't really pass on Jaden Hardy, right? I
Yes,
believe
sir.
His game is going to translate in the NBA so well. He's a guy that is capable of having big nights. I'm not saying that he will come in and just be a 20-point per game scorer, but he can have those nights where you actually have 30. I can see him coming in and playing a six-man type role, getting his feet wet a little bit instead of going and keep growing and developing.
Well, the Spurs, they have really exciting players. Let's see who's going to join them, sending it back to Commissioner Adam Silver.
Okay, 3 times. He made it 3 times.
20 NBA draft.
3-time all defensive player
Malachi
in
Branham
10 seasons.
from the Ohio State University.
He put a little bit of chutzpah in that the Ohio State University.
Shalom, Michelle.
There you go. So it's important.
Spurs need, yeah.
The first Ohio Mr. Basketball at St. Vincent St. Mary's since
What?
LeBron James. And I just love this. He said that his goals were to, one, become the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, which he achieved, and then to become...
He got Jim Jackson and Michael Redd number.
By the San Antonio Spurs, he has achieved both. He was Ohio State's highest-ranked commit since D'Angelo Russell in 2014. Initially, the plan wasn't for him to be one and done. But Jay, I mean, you saw this. He slowly progressed as the year went on. He looked like one of the most talented perimeter players in the country.
6'5", 195.
They've got a
Yeah.
great prospect here in Malachi
Damn.
Branham. Mentioned he went to St. Vincent St. Mary's. You go there, you can never be the best player in school history because of LeBron. Malachi Branham, and there's LeBron James. That's back in 2002. He was drafted in 2003. That was my first draft with ESPN. It was a pretty darn good one. But he is a 3-level scorer. He's got a great, really uncommon, and a fast learner. He shot 83% from the...
Yeah, Michael Redd was the shit.
That was second in the Big Ten.
That's what I'm saying. They gave him that number. And he can shoot. And he dunk on it. Good D. Good D.
An excellent finisher and a really good pick and roll handler. As a defender, he's athletic. He can stay in front. He doesn't get a lot of steals, but he stays in front. And once he got 35 against Nebraska, you knew he was on his way. In his last 11 games, he averaged over 19 points per game, shot 57.
He got what you think they needed. But they already got like White. They got my man from Miami, right? What's his Lonzo White or whatever.
And what a great moment that we are getting.
They got
now as he
DeJounte Murray. Oh yeah.
hands with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver in a fresh jacket, I might add.
Yeah, he was a young player, but he was still good.
That is headed to San Antonio.
I actually thought he could have been taken in the lottery.
Look.
He's a really talented young player.
That's what I mean. Lonnie Walker. Thank you. Lonnie Walker.
Dominated in college, yes.
From Miami.
You look at what even a guy like Keegan Murray.
What, they gonna make him a 6-man forever?
Last year he comes in and averages 24.
Cause this guy looked like he could start for them now. Yes, he was, I'll tell you.
Not NBA ready today, but he's going to be NBA ready pretty darn soon. He's really, really talented. In a league where wings that can shoot it and drive it and finish and defend are in high demand, he fits the suit.
He looked like he could play now to be.
And they had a little bit of an interesting year, Kendrick, because Nikola Jovic, I mean, put this team on his back without Michael Porter Jr., who was coming back from injury, without Jamal Murray.
They need to get a big man, I think. I think they need a big man.
Of the league for the second time. How do you see them faring?
And Popovich need to retire. What y'all think?
You know what? They're going to be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Just remember, when Jokic and Murray are at their best, and Murray tends to turn it on when it matters the most. I call him a postseason player. He kind of coasts in the regular season, and when it matters the most, him and Jokic really become one of the better duos in the league. And we already know, Michael Porter Jr., the sky is the limit for this kid.
That nigga gonna tell me shut up.
He's getting better defensively, and we all know that Coach Michael Malone is gonna hold guys accountable accountable and get the best out of
And they say, shout out to the family and shut up to you. When you can eat a dick.
I love that the team
How about that?
Serbia to hand deliver. Get this. Actually, they had to carry on the MVP trophy because they were afraid of checking it because they didn't want to lose it. And they got stopped because it looks like a kind of like a big glass, you know. Yeah.
ACH 464.
They were eliminated.
That damn talk to text just set you up. You gonna carry me like that on my shit?
You can't have a big glass ball going through TSA. They put it in the PR guy's bag because they're okay with stopping him.
I'm pretty sure TSA workers know about the game of basketball.
I know, bro.
Trying to surprise Nikola Jovic, you know.
Y'all think Pop old ass should retire too? Yeah.
We have best available. What do you think, Jack?
Well, the next on the list is Ty Washington, Kentucky, another.
He should have retired with Duncan.
We mentioned Jaden Hardy, Kennedy Chandler.
You know why he losing, y'all? He should have retired with Duncan.
Blake Wesley and Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Well, the pick is in. Let's see who is headed to join the two-time MVP in the Mile High City.
Bro, he need to retire, sit his old ass down, let Duncan be the coach. Okay, let's see.
The New York Knicks trade the draft rights to Ousmane Dieng, the 11th pick, to the Oklahoma City Thunder.
We know.
For 3 conditional first-round picks. And with the 21st pick in the 2022 NBA draft,
The Knicks just don't want to draft.
Christian Brown from the University of
Not this year. They said, fuck it.
I love this. When young men are in the stands and they make their way down for their big moment, and there he is, Christian Brown.
They gonna say it ain't a nigga that's not gonna get booed.
Commissioner announcer Adrian Wojnarowski reported earlier. But right now, this is Christian Brown's moment. Why do you love him?
Because he fits that system. He's excellent moving without the ball. He's a good floor spacer, and the way that the Denver Nuggets run their offense
A 6'7" guard?
like Christian Brown.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
a two-way player. You know, he defends at a high level. He can score. He rebounds. He's a good passer. He can put it on the deck. He's not a knockdown shooter. He's more of a streaky shooter. But he can stick his nose in there. He averaged 6.5 rebounds, which almost 2 of those coming on the offense.
A tall Grayson Allen.
I would say that he's not spectacular in any one area. He doesn't have an elite.
A tall Grayson Allen, y'all.
He's solid in every area. And he doesn't have great length. You know, he's more in a box, but you know, he's just proven that he's a really good, solid basketball player.
Well, Michael Malone, he likes those solid basketball players. That's his new coach. And take a look. He had a special visitor in the stands. His coach, Bill Self, giving him a hug.
That was one of them hugs like, I'm happy for you, but you sure?
You want to keep great players if you got them. But now, guess who we're headed, Big Perk?
Take me to the dark.
We are headed to the dark side. Memphis Grizzlies,
Memphis.
They are on the clock. And if we're talking about Memphis, we got to talk about John Morant. Obviously, he wasn't able to finish out the playoffs with the Memphis Grizzlies. He had a knee injury. But Perk, this is your group, the young fellows that you have pegged to make noise in the Western.
They don't need nothing for real.
It starts with this young man right here. Superstar written all over him. He is the culture. He
Look.
is the foundation. Other people follow.
They're a deep team. They got backup point guard,
Has not missed in the draft over the last.
backup 2 guard. They might need another center.
And I don't expect.
What y'all think?
to miss tonight.
Well,
Really don't.
I hate to break it to you, though. This pick is not going to Memphis.
Right.
It's on the move, as our Adrian Wojnarowski reported. This is the Grizzlies Timberwolves trade. So this pick, once again, the Grizzlies will select, but it will be on the move per our Adrian Wojnarowski. Jay, who are we still keeping our eye on?
Going to Minnesota.
Well, some of the players we've talked about, Washington from Kentucky is still on the board. E.J. Liddell, Kennedy
But they
Chandler
still got
is
Milton.
an undersized point guard that defends very well and really good in pick and rolls.
But yeah, I'll probably get me a backup point guard if that's the
the
case.
G League. You know, it'd be interesting. Walker Kessler from Auburn, the best shot blocker in this draft, is also still available.
Best shot blocker in this draft. Interesting. All right, well, let's take a look and see who is going to be picked by Memphis on their way to Minnesota. Here is NBA Commissioner Adam Silver once again.
Showtime want to win.
In the 2022 NBA Draft, the Memphis Grizzlies select Walker Kessler from Auburn University.
Walker Kessler.
First time in a common draft era, Auburn has had multiple players selected.
That's Alec Kessler, nephew or cousin or son.
Started his career at North Carolina. His father, Chad, actually played at Georgia, was a 5th-round pick in the
His uncle played too, right?
He was ranked the #1 player in the state of Georgia by ESPN. He's the first player in Auburn history to receive SEC Defensive Player of the Year honors. And now, his moment, as he shares a hugs with his representation. What exactly?
I remember him though. He can play.
The best shot blocker in the draft. He had 2 triple doubles.
He can play.
And it's because of having double-digit blocks in each one of those games. So he averages 6.5 blocks per 36 minutes.
Wow.
That's
Dang.
really remarkable. So
Look at that
he's
shit.
a tremendous lob threat. You know, he can set a screen and then roll.
Mark Eaton.
But you can throw it right up to him, and he goes as high as he needs to get it. Yeah, he only shot 20% from 3.
Mark
He
Eaton.
does have a good stroke, and I think he's going to be able to be a reliable shooter.
Backup
in time because he's
for
a player. This is his first year
Big
really,
Cat.
really playing gigantic minutes.
That ain't bad. What you think? Good backup for Big Cat. What you think?
He was just a terror around the basket.
Yeah, Showtime. What you think? Good backup for Big Cat. I think that's a good pickup.
His moment with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. I mean, serious shot blocker. All right. Well, now it's the Philadelphia 76ers. that are-
That's who the fuck Memphis needed.
Just a roller coaster of a season for the
So
76ers.
Minnesota.
A whole lot going down. Let's take a look at their soap opera.
Watching that draft, man. We gonna get through the first round, then I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down.
He intends to never play another game for the franchise.
This one, I don't care about that bag and all that shit.
Everybody would love to have Ben Simmons, but it's at what price?
The Brooklyn Nets, they are trading James Harden to Philadelphia for Ben Simmons.
This is the most potent offensive duo that this league has. Target
Is a date that we've had circled on the calendars.
In a playoff-like atmosphere, the Nets suck the life out of the place.
No one under more pressure in the playoffs than James Harden.
And again, out of us,
The letdown.
all of the blue jerseys. Philadelphia, for the 4th time in the last 5 years, is eliminated on its home field.
Nobody expected Houston James Harden. That's not who he is anymore.
Dang.
All right, Park, we have watched this unfold all year long. What are your thoughts on what transpired in Philadelphia?
You know, it was a lot.
Yeah, I think they are doing them dirty. Trade them for who?
When you have one of
For
your
what?
all-stars,
Why?
all-star caliber player in Ben Simmons that shut it down and basically quit on the team at the beginning of the season. They didn't mope. They didn't want anybody to feel sorry for themselves. They went out there and they got 5 team in the best conference in the Eastern Conference.
But they got Tyrese and Maxey, bro.
Didn't perform like he was supposed to, but I still think their season last year was still a bit of success.
Okay, well, we have some news, so I want to check in with our senior NBA.
I was about to say they need a power forward.
Ibalika, Philadelphia has traded the 23rd pick to the Memphis Grizzlies for DeAnthony Melton, a guard. And Memphis is going to draft David Roddy from Colorado State here. Now they picked up 2 picks.
Whoa.
Jake LaRavia from Wake Forest, they'll deal with Minnesota. And now David Roddy from Colorado State. So as expected, Daryl Morey.
Well,
that number 23 overall
Showtime.
to bring in a rotation.
D'Anthony Melton better.
Anthony Melton is on the move.
D'Anthony Melton gone. They better re-sign Tyus Jones.
What can you tell us about him?
Well, he's an undersized big guy, but he can shoot it. David Roddy was the Mountain West Player of the Year. Another guy who's a 3-level scorer, but a talented player, just sort of undersized.
They might need him play point guard. And let Maxey play off the ball. Let Maxey get more shots.
But this pick will be on the move to Memphis.
That's crazy.
In the 2022 NBA Draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select David Roddy from Colorado State University.
David Roddy, a junior forward, 595 points last season, the 5th most this season in program.
David Roddy, the guy.
Yeah, barrel-chested big guy that's got really good ball skills.
Look,
He's a 3-level scorer.
they need a guy that's gonna play.
4% from free. One of the best
How big is?
scorers in the draft.
How big is?
A good ball handler and a good passer, a very talented passer, but he's got really quick hands. Just knows how to play.
Here's some more behind the scenes of the draftees tonight, or actually now I can call them NBA players.
Yeah, Maxey is undersized, and that's why I would rather them have a nice 6'9", 6'10" power forward.
That will be on the other side as we say hello to Dyson Daniels and his silver suit. More NBA draft coverage will continue after this.
Jabari and his mom.
The only way you're ever gonna know what you're made of is by heading into the big, wild, raging, so damn beautiful it hurts world and finding out for yourself. Were you born to follow a path, or were you born free? The new Grand Cherokee, made for what you're made of.
Shop and buy online.
Who tried with Horford? Who tried with Horford that didn't work? I'm lost. Oh, yeah, Philly. Yeah, you're right. But it was working with Dario Saric. It's a type of small forward that got played with Joel Embiid. It's a type of small power forward they need. Dario Saric did work.
Applebee's late night, because half off is just more fun. Now that's eating good in the neighborhood.
That too. Because look,
Serbian fans who became Nuggets fans. Heat fans.
You know he can't shoot even if Al try and shoot that free throw jumper. Ben Simmons clogging up all the space if he not dribbling the ball.
Are you taking a photo of us?
Is that okay?
For that once-in-a-lifetime shot. And fans seeing it post for the first time. There are so many ways to love the NBA. And the Pixel 6 is built for all of them.
That's what I'm saying. They need a new age. They need a new age power forward, man. And it seemed like this draft full of 6'10" motherfuckers that like to shoot jump shots.
The Stanley Cup Final Game 5 tomorrow on ABC and ESPN Plus.
Rule. Wherever the road takes you, you take on the
Girlfriend.
confidence. Thanks to super all-wheel control with 6
Falling.
Step into the 2022 Mitsubishi.
What's that NBA 2K what? 15?
Come see us at Origin Mitsubishi in Marlow Heights and online at
Falling. I think that's 2K15.
But what's most important to us are the people we help when they need us the most. The Cochran firm has a team of lawyers and staff with combined decades of service. We're available.
14? Okay, I knew I was close.
We've recovered over $700 million for our clients.
It's 20 seconds to the last call. Going, hey, loud down, you know it's easy. Paulo Banchero got a big ass head and chin. Look at Chet Holmgren. Bar. Yeah, Jaden. Look at his father just sitting over there. That's right. I had nothing to do with this.
Welcome back to the 2022 NBA Draft presented
I fucked up, man. Father sitting over there. That's right. I have nothing to do with this. This is just my wife and son. I hit his ass and nigga, you know how many times I fed you?
We need to talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo, his remarkable story.
Oh, he gonna eat good now. Maybe Chet was one of them tall trailer park ones. You see how tall his father is?
Let's find out who will be joining Giannis, Chris Middleton.
His father a big skinny motherfucker. The big skinny.
With the 24th pick in the 2022 NBA Draft, the Milwaukee Bucks select Marjon Beauchamp from the NBA G League's Team Ignite.
My baby. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it. I love you too, sweetheart. But how you ain't understand strike, ball, foul, you're out. That's baseball. Yeah, that's who he is.
It has been an absolutely remarkable journey.
Where this nigga from?
Marjon Beauchamp, he grew up in the heart of central Washington, 60 miles southeast of Mount Rainier.
Okay.
So chasing the summit, it's been something that's it's come naturally to him. He tried various routes to reach tonight. He attended 3 different Seattle area high schools, traveled to the southwest for a 4th and final high school stop in Glendale, Arizona. In 2020, he committed himself to rigorous training instead of college, and then in 2021, the trail led him back to Washington and Yakima Valley College, where he appeared in 12 games for the Yaks. He signed on with the G League Ignite for the 2021-22 season, and just was a breakout star. You could see the emotion there. Just incredible. He experienced homelessness at one point in his life. I want to bring in our Bobby Marks for more on this wonderful young man's journey.
Yeah, Malika, this journey has been unwinding. It's been to a point where at one point of his career, he thought about just quitting basketball altogether here, and he goes back to Yakima Community College, moves back home, and rediscovers the love of playing basketball, and now he's a first-round pick. So it's a tremendous success story for him. It's a tremendous success story for the G League Ignite that now has 2 players that have been drafted, and hopefully a 3rd in Jaden Hardy here. But just a great story with both.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's that Washington, Tacoma, Seattle area. That's why he couldn't get no run. They had a lot of motherfucking ballers down there.
As he clearly is thanking God that he has been thinking of, has been working towards for years.
Well, you mentioned it, just the long journey that he's had to get here, and now it's just the starting blocks for an NBA career. But when he was in Yakima Valley, he averaged 30 points, 10 rebounds. He's another one of these long-armed wings that can really play. Yeah, he can defend. He's quick off the floor, athletic, explosive. He's got a ton of ability.
Where's he at, y'all? Why is he dunking on the Lakers? Why is this nigga out here dunking on the Lakers? He could have been playing for us last year. Why is this guy not playing for us? Yeah, I'm about to say it's different now. That motherfucker wasn't just in the G League because he couldn't make the pros. They going to the G League to get the money instead of going to college. It's different.
As those picks that we've already heard, again, just the emotion of this family, the moment that they have worked toward for so many years, coming to fruition as Adam Silver calls Marjon Beauchamp's name.
Yeah, the G League paying them now. So they'll go to the G League instead of going to college. That's what Jalen Green did.
Where it's about everybody, it's about the emotions, it's about the work, and then it's about finally crossing that stage.
Absolutely, and we keep, and you brought it up.
NBA said, fuck it. We tired of letting this money go overseas to Greece and shit like that. Nah, we can home grow the talent and pay them here.
You could tell, like, he's been dreaming of this moment. Even probably when he was down there in the G League.
The NBA be grooming you anyway since you. What you think them 5-star camps and shit is?
If you want to see it from his family,
That's grooming you.
Emotions from him, and
Go look at some of them old Nike high school 5-star camps and Jordan camps and Morgan Wooten camps. Nigga, I was.
Process or the college process, and then you see them at this.
Nigga, I was in the Morgan Wooten camps. I know how many motherfucking college players I seen.
Well, on this night.
All right, that's a damn. This nigga, damn that nigga, man, ain't this a bitch?
Having your next life in the NBA start, but then you.
And the bigger the camp, the bigger the better the players. Man, go look at some of them old 5-star with Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, or like the Hoop Dreams movie. Arthur Agee was the shit.
Absolutely, it's the starting block for all of these young men as we hear their names called, and we're about to hear another as the San Antonio Spurs pick is in.
I know. Going my older cousin, and then his little brother, my younger cousin. Their AAU teams, man, watching Stackhouse when he was in high school, jamming on niggas.
The San Antonio Spurs select Blake Wesley from the University of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. That's a Popovich guy. He's going to stay.
Selected. He's from South Bend, Indiana.
And he got him a Becky.
He wasn't actually ranked in the ESPN.
And he got him a Becky. Somebody got him a Becky.
And led Notre Dame in total points and steals. Jay, what do you like about him?
Just about everything. I mean, he's a terrific young man. His dad played at Ball State. He comes from a basketball background, but he can get his own shot. You know, he's athletic. He's got a great burst, and he plays with energy and intensity.
Ooh.
He shot 30% from three, but he does have a good stroke that just needs some work to get more consistent. And he's got very good defensive potential. It reminds me a little bit of Bones Highland from VCU. But coming out, he's certainly much younger and not a finished product. But the fact that he's so athletic and he's got the skills to create on his own. And well coached by Mike Bray at Notre Dame. And just a really good prospect coming into the league.
Well, you can see the Spurs picks tonight. They have a handful in this first round. And one of those players.
Jeremy Shoham, Malachi Brannon.
Here tonight. Drew, thank you so much for joining us here on our set. I mean, I'm just going to get it.
I got Bears. Hey, all I know is the Bears had a good year for on this stage, baby. Back-to-back top 10 picks. We get to keep Jeremy close to home. The Spurs, 2 hours and 45-minute drive. 2.5 from Magnolia, you know about that.
He already timing the drive.
Called Stunning Growth Report. Yeah, I seen that before.
What is it like for you as you hear these young men? I mean, you've heard it before, but every year I imagine that it is special.
Well, just like you guys said up here, it's so hard to get your name called. And the emotion and excitement, adrenaline when they do. And we coach to see them reach their goals and dreams. So being here and supporting
Baylor head coach.
It's great.
First NCAA championship program history last
I was a
year.
little surprised he got taken that high, but his talent level demands it. You know, you used him as a point guard at times, especially in that Kansas game. What do you think his ceiling is? What can he bring in the NBA?
Well, first of all, both of us are envious of his hair. I mean,
he leads the league.
And see, that's part of his versatility. You know, I mean, he's versatile on the court, off the court, but his versatility, I mean, what he can do defensively, guard 1 through 5.
I think this Bama, this number 9 Bama is a pop type player. They might be able to do something with Youngin if Youngin is able to be a good big man. Because Pop needs a big man. And like I said, Jakob Poeltl is some bullshit. Jakob Poeltl.
Well, we had Jeremy Sochan wired for sound here tonight. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
They need a big man.
Yeah, it's getting real. They're excited though, you know. So it's a one-time thing. So I gotta stay in the present, be with my family, and just have fun. My heart rate is going crazy.
I mean, that is just so wonderful.
Hey, by the way, that's how we dress for class at Baylor, you know?
Can we all get matching ones? I think that would be
Then he
great.
can't play. We gotta stop. He can play. He just good off it. No, you 7 feet. You supposed to be useful defensively. You can't be 7 feet and not useful. Jakob don't get on the boards like we need him. Jakob's a good, don't get me wrong. Jakob is decent. I'm sorry. You're right. He's decent. But Jakob is a bench player. Kind of what was that motherfucker that was shooting all the threes for us but couldn't hit them? Showtime. Just got traded. That we traded to Dallas.
The Charlotte Hornets trade the draft rights to Jalen Duren, the 13th pick, to the New York Knicks for a conditional first-round pick and for 4 future second-round picks.
Damn. So Jalen Duren went to the Knicks.
With the 26th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Wendell Moore Jr. from Duke University.
Wendell Moore Jr. on his way to Dallas.
6'5.5" forward.
Points per game, 5.3 rebounds. Jay, I know his versatility stood out to you.
He's just an all-around workhorse. You know, veteran presence on the Duke team last year that stuffed the stat sheet in every category. Really productive. You know, he shot the ball from all 3 levels. A very good passer, one of the top assist guys in the ACC.
Look like
he can lead the break.
Body type of Miles Bridges.
Spot-up shooter. Almost half his attempts were in that area, and he's a playmaker. You know, leading that team in assists. He had a 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio, and he's a very solid defender.
Well, he's the 4th Duke player to be taken in this round, which would match the 1999 draft for the most first-round picks from the school in the common draft era. What do you think of that, Jay?
I like it.
How did I know that might be the case? How did I know?
They started 5 NBA players. They had a darn good team.
Yeah, absolutely, they did. Well, you know who else has a darn good team? The Miami Heat. It is all about the Heat culture. They are on the clock now.
What the Heat need?
Remiss not to put them toward the top when I was mentioning the
Yes.
when I was mentioning the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
What is it about that Heat culture that we hear so much about that just develops these young players?
You know what? It starts at the top, right? Eric Spoelstra, you look at his story, right? He started at the bottom, worked all his way up, worked his way all the way up to the top, to head coach, and now one of the best head coaches in the game. And then you look at we call him an OG or big brother in Udonis Haslem, right? Who contains and holds that locker room accountable, who's the extension of that.
Cuz a copycat Miles Bridges is good. A big body, can play 3 different positions. What's up, What's up, D-Love? Yeah, he can play small forward, 2 guard.
Well, let's take a look at the Miami
Versatile.
this season because they
You need guys like that. Plus, you think about last year, Tim Hardaway Jr. got hurt.
And then Tyler Hero, he got some heat at the beginning of the season for saying he should be in the same conversation with guys like Luka Doncic. Well, then he went on to win 6th Man of the Year. They reached the East.
But hold on, Showtime, about why they get a copycat Miles Bridges. They needed that. Dallas really needed that. Because Dorian Finney-Smith is the only other wing player that they had of note. They need one.
Well, you're going to emulate what you're around. So, I mean, I used to have a coach that jokes, you know, you put a player in the locker room.
A guy that people talk about on social media. I don't know who Kai Soto is right now.
I I think Miami's culture is great because they measure their body fat every 5 minutes.
I don't want to be there. I don't want to do that.
Actually, you don't do that for broadcasters.
See, yeah, because we're going to Shake Shack after this.
That's right.
My girl.
Well, you know, it's one of the things that's open after all of this is done. Again, I know I've asked
Whatever.
you a couple of times, but when you're looking sort of at
You like Shake Shack like I do with your pretty ass, believe it.
Well, if you're looking at best available, you know, we've talked about some of these players, whether it's E.J. Liddell.
After they lost Hardaway Jr., think about it. They had to play Brunson at the 2. It was severely undersized.
From Serbia.
If we really think about it.
That'd be a good pick there, too, if you get him. But he's still on the board. Bryce McGowan is from Nebraska, still on the board. Yeah, I think there's an interesting player still available and maybe available in the second round. It's Christian Coloco from Arizona, who is not just a shot blocker. He can guard and switch off on perimeter players and stay with them for a whole possession. He doesn't just guard them for 2 dribbles.
But Jay, you know it's still one more Duke guy on the board, Trevor Kemp.
Yeah.
Trevor to get all the Dookies out the way. But you know what? I think when I look at, again, I'm going to keep harping on Hardy. I think he's a guy that could come in and have an immediate impact. I think he's a elite scorer. His game will adjust to the league, and I think, you know, for him, if he could get drafted, the Miami Heat actually picks him. He's a guy that will come in and fit in right away for his impact in the game. I mean, he's that special.
Who is Wendell Moore? Is he the guy they just drafted? He should go to the Mavs. The Mavs need him. Christian Wood already there.
In this draft, he may not be a spectacular athlete, but he knows how to play. And Miami does.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is you still need some versatile wings. All they got is Dorian Finney-Smith. Because it's even time, because of Luka's size, you can play Luka and Jalen Brunson together. That's okay. But that Dorian Finney-Smith and Powell, and now they brought Christian Wood in, but they need another versatile wing. Dorian Finney-Smith ain't there.
But he's another player who, you know, in the playoffs,
they go get Tim back. They go get Tim Jr. back.
He said, well, I know that the team goes sometimes as I go, and I can find my offensive rhythm because, Jay, he had no problem on defense. He was finding that offensive rhythm that he needed a little bit of help with.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, one thing about Bam is that the thing that I love about him is that he holds himself accountable. And I love Eric Spoelstra has said after one game in the postseason, we don't need Bam to be aggressive for us offensively to look to score for himself, but to make others around him better. And that's one of the underrated things about his game. We look at his points and we say, hey, he can go out there and get you 18 to 20 a night, and we know he can rebound at an extremely high level. But he's a guy that could go out there and get you 5 to 10 assists. Hell, he could get a triple-double if he wants to, just off his playmaking ability. And that's something
they just need more guys, you know, just more good young wing player. Because Shorty ain't going to play that much. But injury happened. Wendell Moore went to the Wolves. Oh, you think it's because they traded for Christian Wood? That was part of that. It could be.
I have another trade to announce. As part of a trade to be finalized later,
yeah, you're right. Good call.
The 76ers are trading to the Memphis Grizzlies the draft rights to David Roddy, the 23rd pick. And with the 27th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Miami Heat select Nikola Jovic from Belgrade, Serbia.
Don't surprise me one bit.
Why not, Big Perk?
Because we know he's a sniper. We know he's a shooter.
Nikola Jovic. He was born in England. He moved to Serbia at 9. And
look at the nose on that Peckerwood.
Jay, what will make him successful, do you think, in the NBA?
He's super skilled at that size. He can shoot it. He can put it on the deck. And he can pass it. You know, he's unusually skilled at that size.
Bobby Marks has been entrenching himself with these international players. Bobby, what did you see?
6'11".
Well, Malika, as you said, he didn't start playing basketball until he was 13 years old. He is a former water polo player, grew 8 inches in the last 5 years here, and has the skills of certainly of a point guard. He's got length to shoot over smaller defenders here. You could put him on the court right now. And at the FIBA U19s a year ago, shot 36% from 3, made all tournament team here. Another nice pickup for the Miami Heat. Something that
6'11".
stretch for that kind of come off the bench and make shots for you.
Well, some fans may be rubbing their eyes like, wait, I've seen a similar name to that before. That's because there's another notable Serbian player,
Jokic,
two-time MVP, in
Bogdanovic,
fact, sounds a little
Peja,
like that would be Nikola,
Vlade.
not to mention Bogdanovic, and you can see some notable Serbian players who played in the NBA, both past and present. Well, now,
6'11". This
the Golden State Warriors who are
shoot,
on
you
the
might
clock.
need
So
to
let's take a look here at their roller coaster ride.
You saw that shit Showtime?
Because remember, they reached extreme
And he went to Miami. He going to develop. He went to Miami.
Let's go back to 2009.
He gonna play with Bam. And if he can play, he gonna be on the floor with Bam. And that shit gonna be terrible. 6'11", and he can dribble like that.
They won 2 more NBA championships. So this is when we start calling him a dynasty. But then he heads to the Brooklyn Nets. Injury bugs hit within the Warriors. Klay Thompson misses time. Steph Curry misses time.
6'11".
Is really the only one out of the big 3 who was on the floor. And then they bring it in.
Thank you, John. You was thinking exactly. I'm about to say, man, that nigga going with Pat Riley. He gonna develop.
Their journey to winning an NBA championship. You can see them enjoying the parade in the streets of San Francisco for the first time, not in Oakland anymore.
Think about it, he let Vlade do what Vlade do. He would have let Vlade do what Vlade do. I ain't know the Lakers had a draft. They don't got 1 pick this year.
That's how that all went down. But Jay, what's so interesting about the Golden
I know we had a pick.
so much of their talent. Yes, they acquired Kevin Durant. Yes, they acquired Andrew Wiggins. But they have drafted.
Thank you, Showtime. That's the first thing I'm about to say. These niggas be playing against
In this current NBA, why is that?
Nikola Jokic and shit already.
I mean, all the teams understand that you have to build through the draft, and they did it methodically, and they made good decisions without having top 5 picks every time. You know, they took Steph Curry at number 7.
Yeah.
I think it was 2009.
Yes.
They took Klay Thompson 11th, and then got Draymond Green 35th in the 2nd round. They just made good decision after good decision.
I hope the Lakers did. We bought a draft pick, good. I don't care who we get. Long as that nigga's between 6'6", 6'10", can shoot and play D. I don't care if it's post D or perimeter D. I would rather it be he was a versatile big man who could move his feet like Jaren Jackson Jr. And you can find that guy in the 2nd round. You can. Carlos Boozer was a 2nd round pick.
But you can see, look, that's Draymond Green, who's at the draft headquarters saying, hey, I just want to make sure who's coming to us, what kind of culture are we building here. He'll go tape a podcast probably after this to let all of us know his thoughts on who will
Look
be
at
his
Steve.
teammate.
Steve up that motherfucker
You
eating.
can see him as well, but the pick is in, so let's send it to NBA Commissioner
Fucking Steve eating.
to see who will be joining the defending champions.
This nigga might play. Whoever. This is the thing. You can't say this nigga won't play. Whoever. This nigga might play. That's the thing.
The 28th pick in the 2022 NBA draft.
That's where they got
Golden
Poole.
State Warriors select Patrick Baldwin Jr. from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Oh no, he won't be playing at all. Oh no, he'll be playing 6'10" in the quarter.
Patrick Baldwin Jr. out of Milwaukee played for his father last year, and he did not have a very good year. But all his numbers are good. He's 6'9", he's got a 7'2" wingspan. Very very, very talented. He was expected to be a lottery pick after his freshman year, but he was injured, didn't play much, and really struggled in his first year. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have talent, because injuries really caused him to miss most of the season. He's got good mechanics on his shot, a high release, and another guy that moves really well.
He'll probably play.
And can see the floor very well. So the foundation is there. He did have some lapses last year. He got passive at times, but the talent and the foundation is there. And we just talked about Golden State making good decisions. Clearly, they see the
He might play.
That's underneath the performance that didn't match up to the talent this year at Milwaukee.
Zach LaVine was like that, though.
Because of the care and the time they put
Zach LaVine was like that. His performance didn't match up with the play he could do.
We will be right back with more from the 2022 draft.
NBA Draft 2022 is presented by State Farm. For surprisingly great rates, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Remember that show I was telling you about? Yeah, I was so close.
I forgot I seen like one UCLA game one year, and I seen Zach LaVine play. I said, man, this dude is a beast. And the rest of the year, it was like they was mad at him. I said, the coach don't know what the fuck they doing.
On the best time of our lives. You really have to be there. When you're with Amex, you always have a story to tell. It's never
Right, I'm about to say, them niggas gonna repeat.
Time to unleash your thirst for trying, to ignite new passion.
James Wiseman just won a ring without touching the floor.
Try Gold Peak. It's been try something else. Just tease for trying. Fire. It's for finding the groove in the kitchen.
He won a ring without touching the floor. Let him come back with some fire next year.
More you. So thank you.
He know what it feel like to win a ring, and he ain't touched the floor.
We're getting that house we told you guys about. You're buying a house? Yeah. So
Let him come back like, look, I got a point to prove. What? That I wasn't just on the team.
Gives us free bagels. But that's cool.
Celebrating 100 years of Center Court at the Championships. Wimbledon on ESPN and ESPN Plus.
This is her growing hands in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want to provide a space where people can just let their hair down. Healthy, natural hair care is my platform. That's why I really do what I do.
Champion Black businesses as we share the NBA Finals stage together.
Guys, do you want to be...
First, the party was here. Party's here! And now it's time to bring the next sure thing to Buckhead, Georgia.
It's like the Beverly Hills of Atlanta.
Jersey's this summer, not only is Jersey back and all new, but for the first time in 5 years, a new shore crew is ready to wild the fuck out.
That was some lake logic.
It's 2 epic shores. One unforgettable night.
What are we celebrating Thursday?
An all-new season of Jersey Shore and MTV's new series Buckhead Shore. Catch up on demand.
I'm Andy Betterman of the law firm Greenberg & Betterman. I grew up here in the D.C. area, where my parents taught me to care and be kind to others. So I was eager to return home after law school to help our friends and neighbors, which Greenberg & Betterman is happy to
We went right without playing big Minnesota Moses.
in a car accident.
No, but they played.
Or denied Social Security disability benefits. We're here to help you. Greenberg & Betterman. Contact us. Feel better.
Yeah, but think about it. Showtime. Moody, the Kaminga played.
Oh, hey, Jabari. Nice. I see you working your angles a little bit there. Good work.
Mate, I like that pick. I was saying that same thing. I like that pick too. I ain't know that Bobby resigning. Bobby ain't going nowhere. Y'all love Bobby too much. And Bobby that type of nigga that if you show he like a Udonis Haslam type. I don't think Bobby going nowhere. Y'all gonna be all right. Bucky just gotta get okay.
The Mavs get the Timberwolves, but now the Grizzlies are on the clock and their pick is in. Let's send it.
The best thing Chet Holmgren could have did was not get drafted by Orlando. I'm glad Seth make him. Giannis would have been slapping that white boy shit out of bounds. That shit is not gonna fly.
And the Grizzlies just keep on winning. The dark.
He ain't going to Minnesota.
Washington, you can see him there celebrating with his family. His mom.
He going to Houston.
You can see him hugging his agent Kevin Bradbury there. But his mom, battling diabetes, she actually got on a portable dialysis so that she could attend his games. So that she could.
This nigga supposed to be going to Houston.
He's quite the locker room guy at Kentucky. He's also incredibly competitive. He was the 14th ranked prospect on the 2021 ESPN 100.
Yep.
And when he was
And Banchero.
number 3 because of one Mr.
It's gonna be Banchero, Suggs, Cole Anthony, Wagner, and they gonna try to get coon ass Jonathan Isaacs out there. But he a coon, niggas gonna be dunking on it. It's over for him.
He didn't perform quite as well against top 25 teams, averaged under 10 points, 35% from the field, and only 22% from three. But when Sochan Wheeler went out with an injury, he stepped in and had 17 assists in his first game as a point guard. That broke a Kentucky single-game record that was held by John Wall. So Ty Washington, I think it actually mitigates the
combo
favor
guard
that Tyrese Maxey and Emmanuel quickly did so well in the NBA early on in their careers. That you go in, you play a role, you play within a team concept under John Calipari. Is Ty Washington capable of more in the NBA? I think he is.
Well, and he was wearing obviously the Memphis hat, but he is on.
Yeah, Franz what back. He going to
I
Houston.
like it. He's gonna go fit right on in
With Jalen Green.
They're building something with the Rockets. I was very.
He can come off the bench and be good.
2.5 years ago, but now I see the vision, right?
He can come off the bench and be good.
I think this was a steal for them. He's going to work well, player development. And shout out to the H-Town for holding it down.
Well, not to mention Stephen Silas just has been a wonderful person to work with and to watch him coach and start to mold these young men down in Houston. Once again, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I feel like we've talked about them all night.
All of that, and they still gonna get rid of John Wall.
On the move, though, right?
Won't they just get rid of the man instead of just rotting his career away?
Is reporting on the screen. This is what the Thunder received. This is what the Nuggets received. We are at the end of the first round. How do you think teams are looking when they're looking at this sort of level of player? How do they make these decisions, Jeff?
I think they're still looking for the best available player, but sometimes at the end of the first round, you don't want to say take a flyer, but you might want to take a player.
OKC, last pick, y'all. It's going to Denver.
Who didn't perform well last year. I think everyone would agree, but the foundation is there for him to get way better, and he's got the skill set to be way better. Are there players like that have tremendous upside value at the end here that you're not too worried about, because you're using the 30th pick on it?
Floor space and big.
Well, the pick is in. So
they got one already. I thought they got two.
First round of the 2022, I get it, Commissioner, NBA draft.
With the 30th pick in the 2022 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Peyton Watson from UCLA.
Good school. 6'8", 203. He going to Denver.
Talked about the upside potential. Peyton Watson, another guy who's 6'8", has a 7-foot wingspan. McDonald's All-American, but he's projected to be an excellent player. He didn't show it as much in UCLA last year, but he's a skilled player that's got good athleticism.
He's going to be a bum.
On the defensive end, only shot 23% from three, but he's a high flyer that can finish.
Yeah, Young ain't going to average 4.5 points for his career and be out the league in 3 years, but that's okay.
He's a longer-term project. You can argue that he might have been better off going back to UCLA and trying to become a dominant.
He's going to be just like Bobo. He ain't gonna play much.
Just talking about with Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Peyton Watson going with the upside rather than the productivity that they had out of
He going to
college.
Denver too.
Making his way down from the
His
stands.
ass
I
gone.
love when players who have come all the way, even though they're not in the green room, to make sure
Yep.
they get their moment on stage with the commissioner.
Well, that's it
We
for
can see
the
him there
first
getting
round,
hands again.
folks.
This is on the move.
It was cool.
That concludes the first round of the NBA draft.
And thank y'all for joining me, LVZ.
Will be conducted by Brooklyn native and Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum. Enjoy the rest of the evening. And thank you
Yeah,
very
he
much.
ain't gonna do nothing. But let's watch the rest of the second round. Hopefully the Lakers get a good pick. Much love to y'all, LVZ. Have a good night, man. I'm out.
Hit it right on the head. This is a upside pick, and when you're Denver picking at 30.